Hello, everyone, and welcome to PUBG Mobile National Championship 2021 Nepal by Oppo F19 Pro. Hashtag Wook Up Your Fun. My name is Ocean Sharma, and alongside me is Shivansh. Shivansh, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good and I'm doing pretty decent. I'm excited for the PMNC Nepal region.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. But talking about the competition, well, the competition has
Yeah,
been emerging pretty good so far. If we just go for the starters, right? And if we just look at the journey that they have been through, I mean, today is day five of the semifinals, and right here we obviously have 24 teams, of which 16 are just participating each and every day in three different groups. That's going to be Group A, B, and C, and it's looking pretty fierce. And you have seen, I mean, you also have seen other regions PMNCs as well. So, what are
yeah.
your expectations altogether with the PMNC? Because I would say it's pretty amazing and it's pretty incredible the way it has been just picking up the pace.
If we talk about PMPL, right? Some
Yeah.
teams from the Nepal region, they were so good. They were dominating it every single time, and I expect the same from the teams who are playing in the PMNC Nepal region.
That's true, right? Because every region that has been just having their own PMNCs, they are trying to find out the best that there is. We're talking about this one. The total prize pool out there is 30,000 US dollars, and with that, the first position getting 10,000 for themselves, second coming up for 5,000, third for 3,500, and so on. It just keeps on going. But the major chunk is out there for the first position and the point system, ladies and boys and girls. The first position gets you 15 points, second gets you 12, third gets you 10,
Well,
and so on. So it keeps on decreasing with 8 to 12, getting you 1 point each, and 13 to 16 getting you none but one kill, 1 point, and it's pretty important, right?
yeah, but it's like very important. If you finish at 13 or 16 position, if you manage to get some amount of kills, then it's gonna help you in the final stages of the matches. But the important part is what are the teams who are playing? Which
Yeah.
are the teams who are playing today? We have the squad roster of Group B. We have Raw Official, T2K, PWP Esports, DRS Gaming, and we all know that this particular team, DRS Gaming, they were the best team from the particular region.
We have JyanMaara, we have KINGsNepal, Aayo Team Ts, CampToWin. These teams are also out there just to get their best gameplays out. If we just talk about it, and talking about Group C, we have Elementrix, Vibes, EKTA Esports P, and Q. All these pretty amazing teams are just coming out here as well, and it's just not it. We have Team Extreme, Destiny, Cinema Art, and Trikru Nepal. I mean, Trikru has been doing phenomenal. Team Extreme, it's kind of a big name with huge expectations that there are. But then again, the previous group as well, just like you said, right? PWP, Raw Official, those are some brilliant teams as well. But talking about the schedule, we have Erangel, Miramar, Erangel, Sanhok, and Erangel is where the things end again.
We have three Erangel, one Miramar, and one Sanhok. So the switch arounds on different maps, and we know that we are going to witness different types of gameplays too. The important part is we who are holding that first, what we can say, the best disposition for themselves. They have to continue their good performance. But the teams who are in the second page and the third page of the overall rank, they have to step up.
Yeah. That's just about it if we talk about it. But now, just like you said, right, in the overall rankings, we see JyanMaara 170 points, Straw Official 156, Skylightz Gaming coming up there as well. I mean, there are all those names. PWP, well, there has been quite a bit of a fall. I would say I won't exactly say fall. I mean, this team was playing really good, really brilliant. But I know the things did go in their own ups and downs. And talking about vibes as well, T2K. I mean, these teams are just out there, but a few teams have played 10 games, a few have played 15. So all in all, there have been a few ups and downs for the teams, but top 16 is where you'll have to stay if you're playing your final matches today. Because tomorrow there are going to be another set of teams that are going to be coming in to play their final matches. So you have to be in top 16 if you want to just go to the finals.
Yeah, then the finals are very important. Then you can get some type of prize pool. If we talk about the teams who are in a play towards elimination, teams like CampToWin, Trikru Nepal, Destiny, Pubg, XTREME, and xACEx and Cinema Art. So they still have some matches left. So yeah, I expect that they are going to perform pretty well to them. Then we secure some position like 10 to 12 in the overall ranking.
Hopefully. Hopefully, we'll have to see, how the performance actually goes. But talking about OK Chata, I mean, this team was playing pretty good. If we talk about, the early days, the early contestations, as they were taking really good contestations, now things have gone, they've gone ups and downs. So that just happens, right? For a team, I mean, it sometimes does happen. But if we talk about the head-to-head of two brilliant teams that there are, XTREME Esports and Vibes, 121 and 115 points for these two teams, 54 kills versus 48 kills. And talking about damage that they have dealt, it's kind of a thing. Esports have dealt comparatively more damage, and that's the reason that they've received comparatively more damage as well.
Yeah, man. You know what? I just want to point out one thing, and that is look at the average survival between these two teams. EKTA Esports, their average survival is 20 minutes 45 seconds. On the other side, Vibe Esports, they have 21 minute 20 average survival. So it's kind of decent. You know what? Despite the fact you've got the highest amount of average survival, you have to focus on those skills too.
Yeah, definitely. It just looks like today teams might as well just change quite a lot of things for in their own gameplay. We just talk about it, but as we talked about and Vibes, we know that these two teams, both of these teams, are capable of brilliant things. I mean, I remember Vibes just obliterating the lobby when the semifinals actually started, and they have been doing it ever since. So today it's going to be another crucial day, but
Yeah.
KINGsNepal, here they are.
KINGsNepal, if we talk about, if we're going to compare the previous five matches, and there's now semi-finals, previous five matches and other
Day,
five matches,
yeah.
damn
It's
it.
it's day two versus day four
Yeah.
as for what they are, and you look at the way the growth that this team has had for themselves: 3.2 kills
Yeah.
versus 6.4 kills, 5 points average versus 13.6 points average. That's amazing.
That certainly is amazing, and the healing done is also so that's a good sign from their side. And let's see how this team is going to perform today because they are in a very good mood, and we all
Yeah,
know that they are performing pretty well too. We talk about the point, 5 points.
yeah.
I matched the average points to 5, and now it's 13.6. That's massive.
It definitely is. It definitely is. The way they have been just getting those points. I mean, it's important. By the end of the day, you gotta you know you gotta have those point numbers for yourself. If you're just going for good fights, bad fights, and anything that just happens, teams will have to just look forward to good fights, and that's important. Also talking about three Erangels, obviously one Miramar, one Sanhok, they are going to be there, but three Erangels, you definitely need to get the best fight in those Erangels.
And you know what? The important part is if you just drop down here, like, if you just drop down near one particular area, and if any other team decided to drop out the same location, they just want to contest the same area, then it's quite possible that you have an upper hand because you know about the perfect particular
Yeah,
area, particular location very well, and you can easily defeat them. But if we talk about the plane cards in front of us, it's starting towards the eastern side of military. Iran just need to use the western side towards the hospital area.
yeah. Definitely. This is just the way the flight path is. And if you just look at this from military base, from the sides of military base, you look at the hospitals area, Gatka poaching are going to be good areas as well for the teams to drop down and for the teams to take up those good fights for themselves. Periphere, another decent area, Primorsk as well. Milta, teams would want to drop down onto that area. It's needed. Good thing. If you want to go to Yasna, you can just go for a decent rotation from the sidelines of Milta. If you are at Pochinki, you can go to Rosa from the sidelines of Pochinki. All those areas are important as they become a connector point for the team, for the players to just rotate and move forward. If we just talk about it, and from the sidelines, I mean, by the end of George Pole is where we see the flight path ending. KINGsNepal's players, they are dropping down right now, but you could see the bifurcation as the players have done it. And looks like they're going to be dropping down the areas around Nova Noi. JyanMaara, well, they have dropped down the areas around military base, and looks like it's a pretty decent area for players. Elementrix, they look like as they're dropping down, but that's where you can see TS is just out there, but the zone goes down to the sides of Milta Far present shelter. That's going to be a really good zone to just play around. Yeah, I would love to see what PNQ does. I mean, PNQ mostly likes to go to Severny, and from there they like to drop him down for the rotation around Yasnaya, which right now is uncontested. But obviously, a team that would want to go there, they can just try and run down to those areas. We'll have to see what happens. But it looks like TS has taken up a fight against T2K, probably, or T2K was shooting it down to other players. As TS is pretty far away, and they are pretty close to Elementrix, though. They might just be taking down a decent fight. But this is where JyanMaara kind of does not play around a gamble. They'll have to decide if they rotate early or if they rotate late. If they rotate early, what should be their course of rotation? Otherwise, the zone is going to be just shrinking down. So then that might create a lot of problems. Somehow, if you talk about all these areas, and if you look at the way, Team Extreme's Kazi is just moving forward, which obviously is a good thing. Obviously, he's just trying to find out the decent loot for himself, and then will be moving up and above for himself. But right now, Kazi, alongside his own teammates, obviously the teammates are comparatively a bit far behind, far away, not behind actually, far away from him, and they would be just gathering their own loot as well, and then they'll be moving forward. This is kind of important for the game to start up. I mean, you need to find out the best loot that there is, the one that you can find, basically, not the one that there is. I mean, there is good loot, but you're gonna need to find out the one that you find good for yourself, and then you start moving forward. Talking about the top 8 squads right now, ladies and boys and girls, you can see it's like JyanMaara is there, Raw is there, Skylightz Gaming is there, and Wayout SATAN, High Voltage, DRS, KINGsNepal, Esports. Those are some brilliant teams. They have started up onto the journey, and this looks like a pretty good journey for these players. But right now, if we look at our screen, with 1 minute on the clock and 1900 meters, we see CampToWin. CampToWin, it's gonna be tricky if they don't just get inside the zone at the required time. Obviously, they still have like a lot of time for themselves. Looks like Fragboy found out that MP4, and he's not picking it up though. He's just getting that ammo, which obviously gets another decent decision. You gotta have it, and he's picking up more and more ammo for himself. Might as well switch the gun. No, all right, no, he is just picking up 5.56's ammo, but he has 7.62 weapons. Maybe he just wants to get that ammo to his teammate, and that's going to be a really good thing. Obviously, if you can just get the best utilization of it. With UK right now, Targa and Jane, they are moving forward as well. They have rated as well. Rated does not have a vehicle right next to him, so maybe. All right, he has. He does have one, but it looks like Jane found out someone, and that is the Page from Team Extreme. Targa pretty close to Page as well. They're just trying, but the page is dropping down onto the backlines again as see the players just moving up, but Kazi gets taken down. That's a blow that Team Extreme never needed, and TTK actually they have an advantage now onto this fight. Kazi will have to be on the backlines. Well, he cannot move forward if he just gets out in the open. He gets taken down. He will be shot down. That's going to be a bad thing. Now, from the backlines, TTK, it looks like the backup has arrived as well. Yes, Rated Sir has arrived from the backside. Right now, Sarga just trying to, look around the areas to trade it. Okay. Spots down the page, but from the backside, no plan takes down Rated. A brilliant one, a brilliant execution, and this is actually the finish. The first finish that happens. I mean, on the other side, look at that Team Extreme. They are going for their revival as well. Looks like Kazi will be revived. Which is a really good sign for the players, the lads of Team Extreme, as they were put down under a lot of pressure, and now they are looking brilliant, I would say, altogether. I mean, they are not under pressure now. They are looking good. That's a great pick up on the fights. T2K, Jane and Targa, the team was already a 3-man squad. Now they've been taken down to a 2-man squad. And with Jane and Targa, they are on their own areas. They are dropping down, not giving up any sound cues. And what's important, it looks like Jane can take down one. He does try though. He does try. The patient on low HP will be taken down. Will he go for the finish? No, he does not yet. He does not. He does not. Now he will. Yes, he will. They're trying to even up the ground, but still it's not, as it's a 2v3 situation. But Jane gets spotted down. He is on low HP. From the backlines, Jane can be taken down as well as the people are coming down onto him. Jane does take down one from the backlines. It was a Sarga actually helping down a brother, helping down the teammate. Nope, Tang and Kazi, it's a 2v2 situation. Jane needs to heal. Jane needs to heal as soon as he can. Jane needs to heal, but he does heal down, and he is moving down now. This is brilliant as the fight goes down to a mere 1v1. Nope, Tang versus Sarga. Looks pretty bad. Looks pretty bad onto the paper. But Nopsang is gonna go with a nade maybe. He's gonna go with a throwable. Well, Utara did first. He dished down his Molotov, but now it's time for Nopsang as he is throwing down a grenade, I guess. Yes, grenade, but it did not do anything. Now Nopsang is on 1 HP. Jay needs to heal. Jay needs to heal. He's healing up. It's important. Nopsang, he got a heal as well. This is a 1v1 that they never wanted to be in. Nopsang, he got a heal, so he is just going down with a nade of his own.
Yeah.
But Jane and no, just think about it, Shivan. This is really crucial one because it's a 1v1 situation.
Lobsan, that was a cheeky move because he just threw that one grenade so that he can buy some more time and finally he just healed himself up. Now, both the players, they are on 75 HP. This is a 1v1 situation for both the players. Luckily, they are kind of like a little bit far away from both of them from each other. The important part is Jane, he just switched to a molly and I'm thinking so that he's going to throw it towards the staircase area and towards the balcony and now he is still waiting for that perfect opportunity to push.
He is, but he does not have a helmet. That's one thing that just puts him onto a lower ground onto this fight mentally, I would say. Just think about it, right? The lad does not have a helmet. One shot to the head, he will take him down. Jane does have enough lead. This one might just be it. Oh, it's not. It's still not. It's still not. Nopsang still survives as of now. The fight started as a 4v3. The fight did start as a 4v3. It went down to a 4v2, but it's had that are just trying to take down a good fight, but no! Nopsang still lives, still breathes, does a 1v3 in style.
Nopsang, finally, that was a risky move from his side. Like, at the end, he just won that fight. Despite the fact for an instant, he lost some amount of his HP, but then he re-peaked from the same window, and he just final player of PPK. He secured 3 total crucial points for this team, and finally, they are not the team who faced an early elimination in the first Erangel match. But the bad thing is there's only one player surviving. That's the lone survivor for his team.
Definitely, well, that did happen. But now, look at the circle, look at the way the players will have to move inside the circle. That's what I was saying, and I'm pretty happy that JyanMaara actually just made it inside the circle. They were on the base area, they had rotated before and of KINGsNepal. KINGsNepal, they are on the side of bridge lines. All you can see Nishan out there. Nishan is trying to spot down someone. Meanwhile, Praveen just take down one from CampToWin, which is going to be kind of a weird use of players as CampToWin. They were looking really good right from the start. But now KINGsNepal. This team is trying their level best to actually dish down damage on JyanMaara, which is important. Otherwise, KINGsNepal, they cannot defeat. They'll have to do a lot of damage. But right now, look at this. Praveen, he is still looking down on the players. He's looking pretty good as he's pretty close to the players who have to win. But this nade. Oh, it was close. Malik, look at Malik from the backlines. Has anyone seen him?
That information and that type of location is going to help them a lot. But right now, why I think so, Malik already compromised his position. xACEx is moving in towards him slowly and steadily. The bad thing is they're 600 meters far away, and after just 5 seconds, the Blues are just going to move in. Now, Jen is trying to take some fights against them, but Jiggle also providing a very good cover to his teammate. Jen goes down. Malik is the one who's just going to take him down. Malik takes down another Hazard at the very spot, and Hazard somehow managed to survive. No, that was not for so long.
Oh my god, the way it has been just going forward. Arceus, talking to CampToWin, the entire team, they got obliterated, they got wiped out, and now, like, he got all these gold kills. Just think about it. This is what I was saying, right? The players from the back lines, they were not ready for it. That did happen, and things did go bad.
Those things did go bad, but right now, JyanMaara is charging on towards their top thing. But right now, Uma, so his position is going to be very important. So as Live Whitey, if he has that one grenade, if he just lob that one grenade onto the players of King, then he might take down both the players by just that one grenade, and that could be lethal. Look at the health of Mixer. They are just falling back, and this could be the lethal move, and this could be the risky move. And yep, somebody just take one down.
Nishan does go down. Meanwhile, Gunzo is just trying, but it looks like Snipe has spotted him down. A good nade coming down from the lad. Might just take him down as well. Oh, he did manage to survive. Now the nade did go boom. But now he gets taken down as Snipe Whitey does take him down. JyanMaara, now they are again looking pretty good as 2 players were onto the fuel station, 2 players on the back lines. So if anyone would have tried to be out there in the open, it was a bad signal. And that's what they were just playing around as Colonel will go down. Oh, okay, all right. He's just trying to move forward as he does. And KINGsNepal, the two lads that are still surviving, now they are just moving forward. But look at Vibes going to put down himself by his own vehicle. All right, that's something that we don't see today. Samir being just still trying to take down Team YD, coming down from the lad, and it looks like vehicle has been damaged critically.
That's not a good sign for the side of King. Now, Whitey again is charging on to the players of King. Now, oh, he just toppled down. Just to feel easy for him, but nice right now. UI looking a one finish, and this could be the one to knock down at least Snipe, but no, he finally managed to escape from that impact of that crack grenade. Now, lobbing a lot of grenades on top of the King literally just want to make a rest and look at that.
Whoa!
So the team is got knocked out.
Kiwa YT, he is surviving. How long can he survive? Gets spotted down. He will be taken down. He will be taken down. As Samir gets 2 kills. And JyanMaara, they're still surviving. But KINGsNepal off to not so good of a start right now. Meanwhile, Inception takes on Johnson. Elementrix. Looks like they are starting up their own goal of damage as a knock and a finish straight up coming down with DRS. Are they going to retaliate with an answer? Are they going to give up a good answer? But look at that. Cinema Arts 2i actually takes on another one from DRS.
TRS, they got sandwiched between players and they also lost one player to Mafia and just tried his level best to survive, but no, PJ is the one just going to take him down with that M249, and we all know that that is a beast gun. And right now, Nima is the only lone survivor, the final player from the side of TRS, and I think so. He has a lot of pressure on his shoulder that he has to survive for too long till the end, so that he can collect a decent amount of points from this particular match.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's a skill. I would say that's what even the players in the fight of T2K and Team Extreme, the last final player Nopsang would be thinking about the same thing as well. You gotta survive, right? You gotta survive as much as you can. That's important. Look at this Elementrix thing, but well, he gotta revive his teammate, but the vehicle is this time is not giving him adequate cover, but actually is taking down the player. That's what happened. I mean, had the vehicle been onto the front end of the tree, it could have been a good potential cover, but that did not happen. Meanwhile, it does. Spiky is the lab that we can see right now. I mean, Esports players are just here alongside the last player of TRS. That's neat.
He has the control of the squad house, and we can say from in the same vicinity vibes, they are also rotating from the left hand side, from the sidelines. So Nima, he has to be careful. If he compromises position, then this might be the end for DRS for this particular match. But right now, I think so. XACEx did decide something else. It seems like they know that there's one player inside the squad house, but they didn't know that there's only one player.
Definitely, that's just the way it is happening. But right now, it's down to Nima. I mean, you can say the ball is in his hands, as if he wants to shoot and maybe take the potential knock and a kill, and then just stay back. But looks like Spikey has spotted him down, and Spikey knows that there's one lad. But the gamble is, Spikey does not know how many more there are. If there's just one, or if there are more. That's why they might rush right. But look at this Mustang, the last one surviving. He just arrived in this one that is on low HP.
Look at that. Now, Esports have a lot of information to work on because they spotted down one player by Spike, and we can say that he also spots down another player from the back line now, and they are inside the circle too. So if they want to like take down 2 or 3 players, then it might possible that they are going to do that. But how are you going to finish those knockouts there? How are you going to convert those knocks into kills? That's the best question. But right now, Team Extreme taken it that 13 position with only 3 kills.
Yeah, definitely. There's that exit with less number of kills we just talk about. I mean, the kills were good, but they did not get any placement points. That's the more crucial part right now. They did go for a really good fight. They did wipe out. They did not get kills. Look at that. Oh, this rush. Was it good? Was it bad? Because from the back, let's see Vibes as well just coming up. Trikru, you're just out here. Raw official as well. So many teams trying to create cluster around the areas of the mansion, which I don't know if it's good or is it bad, because wherever you see in the open, it's the enemies.
Bunny somehow like survive on very low edge. And on the other side, if we talk about the kill speed, players are using those mini 14s
Oh,
perfectly and
oh,
knocking down some players too. That grenade, oh no! As I was talking about, Prateek got knocked out by a cracked grenade, and PA they are in a very difficult spot because they are on the ground floor, right? And teams Raw, the players from Team Raw, they are
oh!
literally lobbing a lot of grenades,
Look
but
at
that
that
could be
HP!
little. Oh no!
Look at the HP of players of Cinema Art. Sasuke and Tuai, they are all just surviving on 1 and 10 HP altogether. They gotta heal, they gotta revive their teammate, and then that teammate also has to heal. Then only they can rush. This is how the utilization of time was supposed to be done, but it's not. Meanwhile, now Vishal does revive one, but Raw, they are not safe at this moment.
They are not but surrounded by a lot of teams. One grenade can knock out Sada, and the revival is going to be a little bit difficult because it's a 2v3 skirmish between these two players. And again, look at that. How many grenades does this team have? Because every single time, whenever we just look at their POV, every single time they just complete one grenade.
Yeah, every single time, definitely are just cooking down one grenade for themselves. But now, if you just talk about it, look at this. Everyone that's still trying to just look forward and take a good fights. Uh, Raw, these players they cannot move from on any direction. Two eyes on low HP again. He has taken down to really low HP. Like the nade coming from the backside as well as the frag boy just arrives to put into good cover. But the thing is, he's on the lower side, and that's where three players of cinema artists. One is actually on the outskirts of the building, so he got if frag boy needs to take up this fight, he will have to just look forward to the player that's on the outside, and then maybe take up a fight. Okay. Just dropping down. Fragma, he knows the location probably. Pratik is on low HP. Is gonna go for a heal again. But that's where the fight starts. First, Fragma takes down one and he stays on
Oh,
backline. Again takes down second. Yes, he does. Last player is on the outskirts of the building.
yep, and this is not a good sign for this particular team. Only one player surviving, and this is going to be the end game for him. And yep, the whole team died. Take an exit, another 11 position. Cinema Art, they tried their level best to still get one safety point and two kill points too. Now, the good thing is, Raw Official secured 4 kill points, and they are inside the circle too, and they have good hold of this squad house. So, yeah, they are in a good position. Right.
A good mansion area is coming down onto the circle. But look at the place where Trikru is. Actually, look at the place where XTREME is. I mean, all those players, if they have a proper entry inside the circle, given the fact they'll have to take down Nima or maybe Nima can backstab them. Looks like Shante is looking forward onto the house finally, and he might as well just take down PRS Nima and then they can use that circle because they have an open area. This chicken dinner act might just go to EKTA or PNQ, depends on how they're going to be playing up their cards. As they have all the players surviving, just need to have a perfect, potentially good area inside the zone. And there it is. One confirmation, DRS marks an
Oh,
exit. Now EKTA, they have a proper open line inside the zone.
He's a good position for themselves. Now we just left with only 32 players are alive, and after within a couple of minutes, the red zone is also closing in. It's going to close in, but look at that mansion. This particular area, there are a lot of teams holding those individual compounds, but the blue zone just holds them to take some fights or to move inside the circle. And meanwhile, if it's that, then it might possible that they'll get punished by some teams who are gatekeeping for them.
Oh, Elementrix also marks up an exit. We just look at the number 5, it's 8, and 8 gets 1 point. I'll love to see which is the last team that gets 1 placement point. Now with the kill they mark up their exit. But Malik with the nades just wipes out a squad.
Wow, that was intense. Like, you don't need any type of, you don't need any gun, you don't need any AR or SMG. That one utility gun, one frag grenade was enough, and that's why if every single player just sitting in a particular spot, very close to each other, one molly, one grenade can put out lots of damage and fight all of them goes down. But right now, Pubg with that incredible play converted one kill, and right now he fought out another player. Just because of that, yes, he was unable to knock out another, but the smoke wall is also favoring that one team.
Definitely it is. But now look at this area just around the corner. We're inside the zone. 94, 95 meter Vibes, like all the players of Vibes, PMQ gets eliminated. We're down to 6 teams and 23 players surviving. It's really tricky. It's really tricky for the players, for the teams to just look forward to the way they'll have to take up the fights for themselves. Praveen as well. You see Praveen, he is onto a good area, but Shah, it looks like he's been spotted down. He has a slight range advantage for himself onto the lower grounds. That's why he's just surviving. But now Sada, he is looking really good and can take out a good fight.
Totally stand, but right now Gara spotted out one player. I think so. I think we just have some bullets too. Like we just have some damage too. It's extreme some bullets. But right now, we just don't want to leave this particular compound because this is one of the best compound which is inside the circle. Raw, just move inside the circle. It's gonna slam his body onto that tree, and just because of those smokes, he can make an extra cover and denying the vision of his opponent. But Snipe Whitey takes down another player with his DP.
Gara takes on one with his nade. If we talk about utility usages, Vishal onto the backlines again, but looks like he's going to go with a good nade, but he will be spotted down from the backside. But look at PWP's Delta. He knocks down his own teammate with a nade. Oh my god. Well, Trikru just still surviving. PW, they do get eliminated. We're down to 5 teams. Raw, Vibe, JyanMaara, One Crew, and EKTA. They are still surviving somehow. Vibe Rabin, he's taking up fights and fights and fights. It might as well be their but Bunny, he does go for a good clutch. Raw official, they do get eliminated down to 4 teams.
Bunny just literally hopped onto the last player and literally continued his team with 28 favor. Vibe just going to utilize this position in their favor. Only 5 is there. Bunny, he was in a very compact position. He was even able to run for his life, and that's why Vibe just secured his kill on 11 kills. Despite the fact that he's playing with a 3-man lineup, they still secured 11 kills and still increasing the numbers.
Vibe's 3-man squad. It's a chaos altogether, as Malik has 7 kills. 7 kills already. Well, now he's burning down. Just drops down now to just heal, and that's a good decision. But look at Esports, they are also just inside the circle, as I was talking about. Rabin, he's trying to spot down whosoever he can, but Jiggle, oh, he gets taken down. The finish, it's not here, but still not. He is still trying. That was kind of a hasty decision, but looks like Gara is gonna just dish out a lot of damage as well. Except not now. He just heals. Is gonna go for the finish. Probably not. Praveen is just out there. He's gonna go for the revive, maybe. Yeah, he is going for the revive. But now Slipknot comes in, takes another one. Wipes.
Oh,
yeah, done.
Vibes take and exit at 44th position, but yeah, they had a good outing, to be honest. 11 kills onto their name, but JyanMaara not that far behind. 9 kills onto their name. 2 3-men surviving right now inside the circle, making sure to make an extra cover by using those Dacias and those UAs. But Esports, Yante spots down Kana. His M4 4 times, so just wanted to show some more talent to be able to do that. But right now, we just left with only 3 teams. Every single team is playing on the edge, and we can see that one particular team, in that is XTREME, they have an upper advantage because all the 4 players are alive.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I was saying, right? That this team can get this potential chicken dinner. I just said it, and that was because they had all the players alive. They had all the players for themselves. Now again, they are just putting down those smokes because they need to. They need to get inside the zone as soon as they can, which obviously gets important. Shah, just trying to find a good area for himself. Shante has 82 bullets. He's gonna go for the reload to make it to 150. I don't think so. He needs to reload another time now. But what he needs to do is just check down on his headshots because he does not have a helmet, and if there's one bullet to the head, he might as well just be taken out. But now JyanMaara on the right of EKTA and gone through onto the left hand side as Shante gets taken down, as what we were talking about. Now it's Spiky, Miracle, and Yante as Yante is moving up forward, and Chante has a good area for himself, but Yante, the Molotov. Look at where Yante is. Right side Molotov. He is between those.
Yeah, and he's still surviving. I mean, to see the single mountain damage, that's the best thing. But just that, how many folks have been used in this particular area? But Snipe Whitey, no one can stop this man taking down players by players. Spiky, he's has to not. Oh no, he's survived. But that grenade was awesome.
Yante's nade was amazing. A Snipe does get taken down. Gunnar is spotted down from the other side as he's on low HP. From the sides of Trikru, as a Slipknot is trying to dish out a lot of damage, but the thing is, his helmet and vest are totally done for. Again, it actually gives a chance for EKTA to take up a good fight because they'll be having all of their players onto the survival skill, but Gunnar looks like he wants to change that. If he pops up a good nade, he can take down 3 players. If the nade is good, well, it
Oh
does
yes.
take down one and knocks another one. This nade might as well just be the game changer.
Yeah, but look at that. Shante realized that this is not good position to stay on and but Rekha might want to be
Jante.
more lethal, but Shah, look at that. He is the boom is staying out there. So I can see the same thing for Jante too. And Jante goes down with the position of Shah. Realize that there's another player just behind that one. He secured a second dinner for themselves.
Wow. The openness of the zone just played around, and just as I was saying that EKTA Esports will get this game, they did get this game. They're at the 5th position right now with this one. 6 kills, 21 points, 1181 damage. But it was an incredible game. Was not easy though. They
Yeah.
did lose their players, but at the end, they were the strongest team out there.
They were, they certainly were. And we talk about the damage. It should be almost 1200, right? 1100
Yeah.
damage is out there. And out of those 1100 damage, so kill conversion is also decent. But if we talk about the teams who were dominating in this particular match, it was Vibe.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. That's just the way it was. But now looking forward to the way the fights happened and the way it sets up the momentum for today. I'm really excited to see what happens more and more with the fights going on because it was amazing. It was amazing for the starters, and they had all of their players surviving. Still things just went pretty bad for the players somehow. But at the end, they managed to still survive till the end, which is a really really good sign. And talking about the big names, a lot of big names, they were being taken down early in the game. Talk about Team Extreme, you talk about T2K, the fights that happened, DRS as well, they were losing on the players, Pink Truth, they were losing on the players. But we talk about the MVP, Vibes Malik, exactly 7 kills by one lad.
Oh, and look at the damage. It is almost 900. Survival time, we talk about the survival time, it's 22 minutes, 55 seconds. Again, it's rock 23 minutes. But healing done is also 500. So, yeah, he received some amount of damage too, but dished out some amount of damage too. Right? He dished out some decent amount of damage. Now, the important part is how many points does Vibe secure?
Yeah, that's the question for sure. I mean, it depends on to their elimination marker as well, and obviously what the other teams were doing with the kill departments, because kill points is something that's really volatile in this game. You can have pretty good performance, and not a good number of kills can actually take you down. And if you don't have like good placement points but pretty good kills, it can shoot you up, and that's what Malik did along with his teammates. I mean, this single lad had 7 kills. The other team, I mean, getting the amalgamation, they had good number for themselves.
Yeah, talk about the top 4 players with Malik because he was the MVP. We have Slipknot, your 3 kills, 831 damage. Survival time is 28. Franco is also there with 4 kills. Snipe, Whitey, never forget this man because he was lethal to this M4 and the team.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the way these players did play, the game amongst them. So, talking about the match summary, you can see Yante coming up with 317 meter, that's the longest distance scale. Gunnar coming up with most utilities used, and obviously, utilities were being used in a lot of numbers. If we talk about the nades that were being thrown, the smoke that were there, Jiggle coming down with maximum assist, that is 3. Malik coming down with 824 damage, and obviously, Malik coming down with the highest kills, that was 7. But talking about this one, JyanMaara, they did secure, more points. But XTREME Esports, they get that chicken dinner for themselves. Vibes coming up on 3rd.
As I just mentioned earlier, that the kill points are very important to shoot to up at the leaderboard, and we can see the same thing. 12 placement points to 13 kill points in favor of JyanMaara. VibesEsports with 19 OD points. So Trikru Nepal, they're not that far behind on the 4th position with total 8 points. But teams like CampToWin and KINGsNepal, they were the teams who secured 0 points.
Yeah, definitely it did happen. But maybe in the upcoming games they would just try to get it pretty good. If we just talk about it, DRS, Aayo Team Ts, they did get only placement points, not the kill points. KINGsNepal, CampToWin, they did not get either of both. But I would love to see how much of a difference does it actually make in the overalls. But before that, we'll be obviously looking at the open moments as well, the highlights of what actually happened, what changed the pace of the game for themselves, because these are the most crucial moments, and these are the ones that can just make or break the game for a team.
Yeah, let's look at memories. And after that fight, JyanMaara, they were looking pretty strong. They eliminated the team who we were like looking out for from before the first game, because they had an amazing outing. But right now, in this particular match, they were struggling. But DRS also tried their level best, but securing just 1 point, it is not enough.
Yeah, it definitely is not enough if we talk about the fights that happened. But this is where things were changing for the players. Just look at this vibes; they were looking really good. They did take down a team by those nades as they started, but then again things started going really bad for them. And after that, they were being charged on, and they could not just take a hold of that fight against One Crew. One Crew played really good onto this fight. Obviously, they did lose on their players, but they did not lose the fight. But this is where the final moment happened, and they got the best out of it. But with that, we have the overall rankings in which obviously JyanMaara about to reach that 200 marker. Raw official 168.
168 on the second position. Talk about the third and the fourth position. We have Skylight, and we have Esports. That amazing performance. They are at the fifth position with 142 points, similar to Wayout SATAN. But why these with an amazing out and they are on the sixth position with 134 points.
Yeah, they definitely are. They definitely are onto that. But right now, the most important thing is of the teams that are not playing, right? Because they will be coming up tomorrow to just have really good games, and it's important for the teams as well that will be playing their last 4 games now, because they'll have to just secure a really good position. And in that, if you just look at this, DRS KINGsNepal T2K, they have had the 16 matches, 124, 122, 116. BADCOPS coming up with 92. Harame obviously they're coming up with 91. Trikru coming up with 84, Elementrix with 82, Team XTREME with 81 points on the 16th spot. Now, this is where the red zone starts. You have to be in top 16 today and tomorrow, otherwise things go bad. But 17 to 24, that's kind of questionable, right?
True, and look at the difference. The teams who are on the 12th and the 16th position. If we talk about the points 92 and 81, okay, so let's go. They are at the 17th position, but they have similar amount of points with the team who is on the 16th position. CampToWin on the 18th position with total 75 points. So the hopes are still alive. They just have to focus on like securing huge amount of points. Destiny is the only team who has that second winner, despite the fact they are at the 21st position.
Yeah, they had one good game, but then others were not that good. If you just talk about it, they have games available though. They can maybe they can just make it. Obviously, we'll have to see if that happens or if that does not happen. It's kind of questionable. So they'll have to give up the answer to that question in a while for sure. They will give up the answer to that question. But with everything with the stuff like this, right? I still have this question that is where the next map will take us. Obviously it's going to be Miramar, and Miramar, it's really important to understand the way the players just take up their fights. Starts up slow, builds up the pace, and then it's chaos all over.
Yeah, and you know what? The chaos will start when the teams are literally very close inside that one compound. We can see. We talk about the mansion area. We literally saw 6 team inside, like just near to that mansion area. They were
Yeah.
fighting against each other to contest that one particular area, and the fights were amazing. And kudos to Malik with that one grenade. He eliminated the whole team. So these type of situation, if you got stuck in these type of situation, you always have a backup plan to work on it. Otherwise, you could be on the receiving end.
He did obviously take down 3 players. The last one was taken down by Jiggle with the spray of the weapon. Obviously, it's just one player taken down by him, and 3 players with that beautiful nade just taken down by Malik. And Malik, he was just doing amazing with the utilities and with the fight. So I would love to see what this that does in the next game as well, because obviously it is important today and tomorrow are the last 2 days of the semifinals. After this, obviously we'll be moving on to the next journey. That's going to be the finals. That's going to be happening in the upcoming days as well. So all these things get important for the teams, for the players to just look out for. And somehow, if we just see where today's day is and where the competition has been previously, I would say it's growing fierce with every day.
I totally agree with that point, Ocean. And teams like Vibes and Elementrix and JyanMaara, they are showcasing that experience and just
Yeah.
dominating every single team present
Yeah.
in the map.
Definitely, definitely. That's just the way it has been just looking forward. But now with the first match that we have seen and the second match that will be coming up, third match, fourth match, like all these matches that there will be, I somehow feel the way the competition will be for the teams obviously that will be playing their final matches today.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a lot of pressure. What do you feel about that pressure scenario?
You know what? If you got stuck in that type of situation, you should work on your play style. If
Yeah,
if your natural play style is not working out in your favor, just try something different. If you have the plan A and B and it's not working in your favor too, just switch to a different plan. Just your drop location might possibly gonna help you. And sometimes those switch arounds will lead you to the victory.
I mean, it can definitely, it can just lead you to victory, but still, it's kind of a stretch, right? You gotta still have those strategies because those are important, much more. But now, let's just jump onto the map of Miramar, which is important once again because this is gonna be maybe the last Miramar for a few teams. Depends on how they're gonna be playing their cards today, how they're gonna be playing the games today. Well, from the backlines of Los Angeles to La Cobreria, we see the flight path El Pozo, San Martin, Hacienda, Montenuevo, Pecaro, Los Angeles, Chumacer are going to be important areas. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens and where the first zone is being formed. I'm sure the Picardo is going to be inside the first circle, and Montenegro will be. If my prediction is going to be right, then I think the first zone is going to form towards the western side of the map. What do you think?
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see for sure. As for where the zones actually just go down, but before we talk about the zones, let's talk about the teams that are just dropping down. Onto the sides of Los Angeles, you see KINGsNepal, you see T2K, you see Trikru around this area, and onto the sides of Minas Del Valle and obviously Los Tigos, you see CampToWin. On the sidelines of Chumasura, you see Cinema Art. Backlines of Montenegro, obviously that's where DRS is. Vibes is going down onto their own like every team is just dropping down onto the good areas, and
Oh.
the place where you said about the zone, it's no.
I know, like, but at least Picardo, I think so. Yeah, it is inside the circle, so I'm quite happy with that. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, it is, it is. Well,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
vibes, they are going to like. I think so. They're going to be quite happy with this first circle, but they have to focus on those early rotations. I can say the same thing for the cinema players too, right? Because now they just drop down on the southern, eastern, western side of the map, and if they'll not rotate, if they'll not do those early rotations, might get fun.
Yeah, it might just happen. Look at this right now, but Nishan just taking down that viewer MP, and obviously has M4 as well with himself. Just moving slowly and steadily, maybe just trying to find out a good area as well. Miracle, Ekta's Miracle as well, just trying to find up a decent area for themselves. Looks like they're just looting up. They're just starting up the loot phase for themselves, which obviously is important. But 700 meters, not a lot of distance between them and the circle, but the crucial thing is they have players pretty close to him. So if they spot him down, it might as well just be a really bad thing.
Yep. But what if they eliminate the whole team without losing a single player?
So
That's
that's
going to
a
be very
yeah,
tough.
that
Yeah.
that's kind of a stretch because obviously the other team would want to give them a good fight as well. So that's kind of a stretch onto the thought process. But if that happens, we'll see.
But it all depends to like which type of guns do you have and how much information you have against the players, right? If you spot down at least 2 to 3 players, then it might possible that you're going to take down every single player. Then if the final player is still surviving, then you're going to rush on towards him, then you may take him down too. Now the important part is that they are not that far behind. So if we talk about the raw official, they had a great outing in the previous match, and they are in a good position in the overall ranking. So they are looking very, very good. And we talk about the player Frag Boy. He was in the top four players too.
Yeah, definitely was onto the top fraggers of the previous game. But again, not every game is similar. There might just be differences, maybe in the rotations, maybe in the gunfights. Things might as well just change. It's kind of a gamble to think about it. We'll see how that just goes. Right now, Miracle again, just focusing on the loot. I mean, every player is just trying to get down to the best of the loots, and in less than 15 seconds now we'll see the zone coming up, and that's where it might as well just bite those teams that are not paying proper respect to the circle.
Sometimes that constant amount of damage will lead you to a bad situation. But I saw that Miracle, he is using an SKS, right? So
Yeah,
if you use that marksman rifle in these type of maps, then you always have an upper advantage of the long range fight, right? But
yeah.
what if you're just having a duel in a very very close range fight, you switch to that SKS, then it might possibly you go down.
So actually, I remember there was a clutch moment by a lad.
Okay.
Obviously, and there was on to an international competition. I still remember. Obviously, I guess the audience might be remembering it as well. The lad was using an SLR and M4. It was a
Okay.
final circle. It was a 1v1 situation. The bullets in his M4 were emptied out, and he had only 13 bullets in his SLR. The opponent was just charging onto him. He just switched down to SLR, took down one shot to the head, and he won
Oh.
that game. It's so if you have that presence of mind,
Yeah.
if you know how your crosshair works with your movement, then you can get really good fights, because that's important in this game. Aim acceleration kind of plays a pretty vital role as well.
Okay. So you know what? The chances are like pretty kind of mediocre, I can say, if you're gonna clutch that type of thing. But let's see if this gonna happen in this match or not. But we talk about, okay, the Sid is not in a good position. Plus, he was not in a good position. He goes down. He is pretty far away from the pack, and he need a revival. Otherwise, Team Elementrix will lose an individual.
For a second, I was thinking about what Inception is doing now. I actually just understand the way he's just looking forward to. He just threw down one smoke pretty close to him so that he does not get spotted down if he's just trying to spot down his opponents. But look at this raw. All the players, two players onto the back lines and two players just moving up front. Looks like they are just trying to take the players down. Inception. Well, he's a solo survivor at this moment because Sus has been taken down. Obviously, Sus he can take that crouch down TPP angle and can tell him if someone is just coming. But I guess that's going to be shut down as well, as Vishal is just throwing up the nades, and the nade did do a lot of damage. It'll be taking him down. Now Inception is the last one surviving at this area, basically, from Elementrix. We'll have to see what happens as he spots down one Inception. He can actually take the play down. He's on full HP, but there are three players charging on him. Takes down one, switches onto the weapon, tries to spot another one, does take it down to low HP, but there it is. The finish comes down. And Elementrix, well, the cover arrived pretty late. Look at Liquid.
Yeah. The backup is like quite slow. The team finally arrived, but I think so. I think so that at this position they have to fall back because again it is going to be 2v4 skirmish between them. On the other side, Raw, Sadna forced down one player. He was pretty far away, moving away with the his vehicle with his truck, but he escaped. He escaped the barrage of M60 burst shot. Now in very early stage, Raw secured two players, and the Elementrix already lost two players of their team too. Now they're just moving towards the Hasyana Lesno area, and they will play a little bit faster for sure.
Definitely, they will play quite a bit passive for sure. But again, you saw the early fight that just happened right now. These kind of fights obviously play with the mentality of the players in the later stages as well. Just think about it, right? In the next game, the players will be focusing on those things, the things that actually went bad for them. And
Yeah.
in that way, they would try to take up a decent fight. We'll have to see, obviously, if that happens or if that does not happen. It's kind of a stretch again into this conversation. Well, talking about stress, this is a really good area. Hassan Del Patron and VC team extreme, pretty close to JyanMaara out there. The zone, it's pretty good. But look at the teams that are actually outside the circle. They need to find a good area. And this, if CampToWin goes to La Cobra area, enters from Tore Ahumada, I feel like it's going to be a really, really long rotation, but it can pay them pretty good.
You know what? Sometimes those risky moves and sometimes those and the safe moves help you a lot. But right now, where the zone is going to form, I think so. I think so. It might shift towards the northeastern side, or we can say towards the El Azhar side. If I'm not wrong, and yeah, finally, my zone prediction somehow like good.
I predicted it before you. That's why I said they should rotate from Tore
Oh,
Ahumada.
yeah,
That's how it should be a really, really good rotation. Because you see, Crucible, that area is empty, and the players are going to be just moving forward from those areas, which is going to be like really, really good. But look at the area on the southern side. Cinema Art and Von Crew and obviously T2K are pretty close
yeah.
to each other.
This might lead to it leads to a very uh, interesting fight. But right now, if we talk about the player C2W, they are so far away from the safe zone, moving towards the creative side, and they head on towards the lock operator side. Now, the important part is they are receiving a lot of damage from the blue zone, which is not a good thing. And if we talk about the southern side, they are a lot of teams against each other.
Definitely, there are quite a lot of teams that are just uh, will be there. But now the page takes down Rob Shal, but Sami takes down the page. That's kind of a third party situation that is just happening. No one was ready for it. No one just wanted it, but it still is happening. Gun Ayush, all right, Ayush onto the other side, just trying to gather his loot, making it 6 times or 3 times. And now blah 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 takes down one pretty good with that car 98.
Oh yeah, I mean those bold actions are always amazing to watch. But right now we talked about Team Extreme. Both the players are like a little bit far away from each other, and sometimes collecting those crucial information backfires. Right, you might just go down, but this is very important too. But Avinash, he just got knocked out by just falling down from a vehicle or from a like huge you did think so? Like it just fall down from a mountain.
Yeah, that does, happen now. Team Extreme looks like they are pretty good, but from the other side, from the other lines, you see T2K and Cinemart, the fight that we were talking about. T2K, they are down to 2 man. Cinemart, they are down to 2 man. They gotta go for the revives if that happens, but looks like Pratik is gonna go and revive CJ. Oh, CJ will be taken down by Utsarga. Now, Sasuke, the clock is ticking on this ladder as well. And from Cinema Art, one player surviving. That's Pratik. Looks like he's leaving the party.
Yeah, because he wants to stay alive. And right now, I don't think that very good. But it's okay. I thought that he's going to take him down, but no, but he somehow manages to that run. But look at that, Jane. He's not stopping. He still want that crucial kill, but they're just 80 meters far away. Pratik, he has to cover a lot of distance so that he can just keep hopes alive of his team. And cinema art, Pratik, he has only 5 bandages and 2 energy drinks. The level 1 helmet and the level 2 vest. Not looking good. Going towards from the Limpala area.
Yeah, that's just how the players are moving forward from the sidelines of Impala and just trying to get inside the circle, which obviously is important right now. But look at that, DRS coming from Tore Ahumada, but the circle has some different plans. Circle goes down to Minas
So
Generalis.
this is going to be very for the teams who are on the northern side of the circle, thinking they are kind of in the dead, they kind of enter inside the safe zone, but they are holding a very crucial angles in this crucial compartment too. On the other side, Sharpa of DES, he got knocked out, and I think so. They are not inside the circle. Yep, they are very far away from the safe zone.
Oh, the circle. I'm pretty sure the circle is playing with the minds of the players, with the minds of the people, and this is not at all a good sign. Just think about it, right? Southern side you see a fight, left side you see a fight, northern side you'll see a lot of teams entering, hence you see a fight. So that's something that's gonna be just that's something that will happen for sure. Reaper looks like he has to be safe. He needs to be safe, but the way his car broke down and the way he's popping up those smokes, it's tricky. But now as Nishan is going to be just moving as well, now I don't think so he's going to be safe. But on the left-hand side,
Yeah.
Nishan, he needs to check his left.
He has to check those sidelines to be on the safer side. But right now, the team is also providing him a lot of cover so that he can just move towards that particular compound. But look at the position of Mafia Ninja, very close to the players of PES. Arsenic, he's on towards the right side, inside the vehicle, and they'll focus on those rotations. But Mafia Ninja, this could be the risky move. He's taking a lot of damage in the zone. Okay, right now, Team TRS haven't secured a single kill.
I mean, it's kind of still for the teams. It's kind of still the start of the game. In the next circle, as soon as we hit the fourth circle, you'll start seeing a lot of fights happening, and that's where things are going to be just turning up to be really bad. Just think about it, right? We have all the 16 teams surviving. There's still not a big fight yet to just see, but looks like Jane is the one that's going to start up a big fight because he can see Pratik onto the sidelines, or he does not yet. He's moving up forward. Needs that information. Oh, he will be taken down, Pratik. And if you remember, Pratik is the last one surviving.
Yeah, Pratik, he is a wounded lion right now. He just wants to secure some kills for his team. But I don't think so the revival is going to be that easy. Kane goes down. Pratik somehow managed to secure one crucial point for his team. And he is still surviving. And that's the best part for his team. And we can still see 16 teams inside the circle, inside the lobby. And Team T2K, they lost that one player who always collect a lot of information for his team, for his team, and right now, how they're gonna cope up with this situation, it is going to be interesting.
It definitely is going to be interesting for the lads. But now everyone's main course is going to be, get inside the circle. Minaj General that's the important area. Vibes has the center of that zone. Just think about it. Vibes already has the center area of that zone. They kind of are becoming the zone magnet at this point, and obviously they are becoming the magnet of chaos as well as everyone. Everyone has to acquire that central area. That's one potential good area which has a lot of buildings in it.
It's not going to be an easy task for the teams who are right now moving by the circle. This wants to contest that area. On the other side, Reaper knocked out Arsenic with this Scar L, and okay, controlling a Buggy, sometimes it's difficult, and King, all four members are alive, and they just moving towards from the Ridges area and from the French area too. On the other side, Destiny spots out the players of DRS, but the bad thing is Kira, their own teammate, got knocked out. He's in front of him, but he's losing out his health. He's just slowly and steadily bleeding out, and the revival is very useful, but it's important basically. A ruse. He is saving that one smoke grenade, reviving his teammate just behind that burned down vehicle.
As of now, yes, he is doing that. Obviously, the vehicle has just been blasted out, so it's kind of a vehicle to be revived around for sure. Carlson moving forward with his teammate Mr. Boro as well. Looks like they're onto good lines for themselves as the next circle just starts forming out, and this is where the first elimination comes down. Maybe another one might just be around the corner. CampToWin. Sujen goes down as well. Avinash and Narcissus. One lad surviving from CampToWin. All of a sudden. Not anymore.
Yep, instantly eliminated one team from the lobby. P and Crew, they are looking pretty decent. They have good control of this compound and secure 4 kills instantly. Now, Sandesh, he needs a revival, and let's just do that. He has that bus, and we all know that bus is the best vehicle to, use in those crucial type of situations. It's going to provide you a lot of cover. The movement of speed is slow, but right now, PWP Esports also engaging in a very interesting fight.
Yeah, it's just engaging onto those fights that are going to be really interesting if we just talk about it. Now, look at this one crew. They are onto the backlines again, and a good nade coming down onto Reaper. Though he survives. Now Reaper's turn. He goes with nade of his own. Well, Slipknot survives at this moment, but he won't be surviving those skirmishes. But the Slipknot, he takes down one. Moves on to the backlines. Has 20 bullets. Will be taking down another one. Yes, he does. 8 bullets. Goes for a revive. Now this is tricky as Orange and Bulls are just around the corner, but One Crew looks like they are in a lot of trouble as they are just not losing down onto the players.
Yeah, they are losing down those individuals very early, but and not that early, but this is again a crucial situation. Trikru Nepal, Slipknot is throwing that volley so that he can buy us some more time, and the rival is going to be there. Bunny Oak and Slipknot are the only two players survive from their team. Raw Fisher on the other side, they got eliminated at 14th position with total 4 kills. So this is your 4 crucial kill point for themselves. But Slipknot knocked out Reaper with his Molotov. Interesting.
Yeah, that just happened at this situation. Sherpa takes down Nima. Playzone takes down Sherpa. Those things are also happening. We're down to 20-minute marker, almost just entering down to the 20-minute marker if we just talk about it. And in less than 30 seconds, obviously, we're going to be just moving out there. But Rules with his nade takes down Bunny. Slipknot might as well just be follow up. Oh, the damage was just dished out onto the van. Slipknot still survives, but PWP, it's 18-second timer. In these 18 seconds, they'll have to either move or take up the fight. They choose to take up the fight, choose to loot, and in 10 seconds, they have to move to 96 meters.
Yeah, they have those vehicles. So the movement and the rotation is not going to be that difficult. On their side, again, Vibes is playing with the 3-man lineup, but right now their kill points, or we can say their kill department, is still empty. Haven't secured a single kill, but I'm sure they'll secure some kills just a couple of minutes after a couple of minutes, because right now they're holding a very crucial compound inside the circle, as well as they're inside the circle too. On the other side, Aayo knocked out Blazon of TRS, and Liquid also stepping up, knocked out UI.
Well, all together at every place, you can see the fights just happening, and that's where things go down, things go bad as we have 11 teams surviving, 29 players alive. DRS looks like DRS is in a bit of trouble again, but look at KINGsNepal. The players are spotting down PN Crew spotting down those players, and it's a fight that's happening all together onto the longer range still.
Those long range fight inside the crucial circle, inside this smaller circle. Team Extreme on the other side is eliminating at the 11th position. We still have 19 left, but DRS retired back and eliminated Elementrix. DRS finally they are securing some kills on the other side. Only 2 players are surviving and they lost 2 players, but secure 2 kills. It's still decent, but they have to move inside the circle 65 meters powerful. Now they just got out 1 player of PN Sandesh escapes that play.
Yeah, they do. But if we just talk about it, Mafia Ninja gets taken down by Sandesh's nade, and now Nima, it's all down to this lad. Sandesh, well, he has his backup for himself, but he's getting shotted from the backlines as well. This is where he might as well just been taken down.
Oh,
no! From the backlines, Ayush gets that kill.
Wow. Look at that, the reaction timing was awesome. On the other side, JyanMaara also engaging in a fight against the players of PN. They are not dropping, and XTREME Esports take an exit at the 8th position. In the previous match of Erangel, they had a great outing, but that's not the storyline in this Miramar.
That's just, the way it has been happening. But talking about the fights, right? PN Crew is looking brilliant with their fights for themselves. They're looking amazing. Sandesh moves on to the backsides again, has 5 kills. This lad has 5 kills. Well, is he going to go for more number of kills than Malik, as what Malik did in the previous game? I don't know. We'll see what happens. Talking about Malik, well, Season has his eyes and crosshair on that lad.
Pincered him down right now. King, they have an advantage right now because they have all 3 players surviving. One player can also start knocked out. I think the revival is going to be here on the other side. The map, basically the play zone, just showcasing that he is not leave you alone and not going to shoot you. But on the other side, Sandesh using an UMP in this crucial circle, in this 6th circle, and again showcasing that how much damage he can get out with that UMP. But Hira, what a move from his side.
Wow.
Like, he's crawling out in the open and still surviving. Wow.
Right now, his main focus is just to reach around the zone. And now look at this. He spots down someone onto the left side. Does he? Does he? Does he? No, he does not yet. As he's going onto that area, his main focus is to get inside the circle, but the zone is 123 meters away from that lad. JyanMaara Samir goes down as well. He has been knocked out. Season just from the backlines is trying to dish out a lot of damage and pressure. Gunner. Oh, all right. He still survives. He's on low HP. Just wants to heal up as soon as he can, but it looks like no one's gonna let him do that. Oh, 1 pixel. Gunner, 1 pixel of him is getting spotted down, but he's constantly moving. That's the only reason that he's not been taken down yet, as he still survives. He just has
Oh,
bandages. Looks like he has bandages. Well, not anymore. Doesn't matter, as he'll be taken down.
but on the other side, Kira also eliminate one player, and that's the best thing because I saw that he was the only player surviving. Right now, if we talk about these are all the teams who are surviving in this circle. We include look at the position of Sandesh, Ayush, and Season. Sandesh is way, way, way far away from the pack, way far away from the team, but he is using that vehicle to move inside the circle. Robin might take him down, and it seems like he's fought him down too. But next one from King receive a damage of that utility.
All right, this is where you see, the upper areas for where the fights are happening. Destiny does get eliminated as well. Now we're down to 5 teams. 5 teams kind of just, are just out here. It's going to be really, really tricky. Sandesh onto the backlines again. The lad has 7 kills. We were talking about it. Can he get more? Can he get more? Can he get more? But can he get to the zone? That's the first thing to look forward to. And Season onto the backlines. Sarga is just out there as well. Looks like blah 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 will be taken down by rules, and the fights are just happening. PWP they do get taken out. 4 teams remaining. Sarga, oh, he gets spotted down, but he does spot down Season as well. The damage has been done on either of the sides, but Sandesh looks like he's focusing on loot, and then he'll be going for the fights. PN Crew and Miramar, it's kind of a really good story.
Yeah, and P2K is also just want to be in the headlines too. But right now, vibes they are like they're being silent from so long. I don't think so that they just secured a single point, but we include just utilizing that type of situation, that type of information to their favor. 13 kills in the back, in the backpack, and look at that the approach. And you know what? The split is always working in favor of PMQ.
Yeah, it definitely is working into the favor of the lads if you just talk about it. Well, somehow if you just look forward to the fights and the way the fights are happening, this is where the final zones kind of just start shrinking up. And with the final zones just starting to shrink up, things are going to be just looking really bad. Ayush, he has 4 kills. Sandesh goes on with the nades. He gets spotted down though. Doesn't care. Doesn't matter. Just going for more and more nades. Goes for another one. He is trying to create that artificial red zone, but Vibes Praveen takes on King Nishan as Vibes is still surviving. Ayush trying to move forward as well. All these teams, even with 1 player surviving, they refuse to die.
That's the most interesting part and important part too. Right now, they are still waiting for the blue zone when it comes and on the other side, they're just not stopping and knocked out. You got to finish them instantly and finally, just a 2 kill point. But right now, that's not a good situation for Dean, and he got punished by Erangel, scoring those 2 important kills. Finally, stepping up. But season, this is a fight between P and Crew versus this season. Oh my goodness.
Well, 3 teams, Season still just out there. Is trying to take down blah blah blah, trying to get that kill confirmation for himself and for the team. He's just trying to go for it. But Vibes Jiggle, look at him. Jiggle has that higher area for himself. It looks like he's spotted down rated. Yes, he does. He does spot down rated. Season is just waiting. He is waiting with that 3x right now. Spot zone. Does the damage.
Oh no.
Does the damage, but does not do the job.
I don't know why. I don't think you have that much pressure running out in the open area without making sure that you have that smoke area, you have that cover of those smokes. But Pickle is the one knocked out Saga again. But season, I think so. You want to secure that particular kill. 14 kills in the favor of PNQ. Vibes Esports also utilizing this situation and doing a third party perfect 3 for them too. Rated so only kills coming from the side of PNQ.
This is really important. We have these 2 teams in which one team has 14 kills. Sandesh has 7. He still needs to get his 8th. That's what we're talking about. This is a tricky situation. 3v3, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And if you look at this, obviously, Vibes, they have 3 players. They start off the game with 3 players. They have all these 3 players just here doing everything. But Right in front of them, P and Crew on a really good form.
PN Crew just turned on their beast mode and look at that Sandesh. 7 kills. What if Sandesh just alone just take down every single player of Vibe? It might
Oh, look at
possibly,
that!
right? Oh, Jiggle? No, very,
No,
very,
no,
very.
no. He's
No,
surviving.
he
He's
survived,
surviving.
guys.
He's
And you know,
surviving.
first one was a smoke grenade, and yup,
Yeah.
he's just waiting for the opportunity, right? He's just also lobbing some smoke grenade, and right now this is the time where your mind always helps you out. You start thinking, oh, it is a crack or a smoke, and yup, it just comes down to that.
Yeah, it's kind of playing against the players, and obviously they want to move forward. Both the teams want to move forward. And now it's down to the last circle, ladies and boys and girls. Nine circle in less than 5 seconds. 9 seconds coming up. Sandesh is just out there. Sandesh is just trying to dish out damage if he can, as he'll have to move forward. And the 9 circle just starts up. This is where Vibes is in a really tricky spot. Think about it. That one ball is just out there, but Sandesh goes down. Sandesh, the first one to go down, is Jiggle does take him down. Vibes, they are starting to charge onto the players. Season takes down one. Season goes on the back line,
Oh no!
tries to take down the second one. He takes down another one. Season, can he get the
What?
game for them? No, he does not. Vibes gets it. Wow.
I was talking about that vibes. I don't think so that they are going to win this or they are not securing some kills, but they were. They were waiting for this opportunity and literally secured a second dinner. Only 7 kills, 22 total points, 1549 damage. This was amazing.
Definitely was, but think about it, right? Vibes with that brilliant way. A brilliant execution coming up for the lads, and those kills coming up. I guess one lad has 5 kills from this team, whilst the other two have 1 each for themselves. I mean, amazing performance, 22 points, 1549 damage, and top 3. Hashtag third is where they are now.
You know what? That type of combination from the side of PvP, that was also impressive. But
Yeah.
now, if I just want to talk about one thing, and that was C2K. I don't think they just messed up in the final fight when there were only 3 teams left, Vibes and
Yeah.
one TP in Crew. They must have used those smoke grenades to make an extra cover, just use those ridges to just stay behind and just to escape from the shot of Sandesh, because Sandesh literally pinned down not one but 2 players of one single team. And he knows that if he knocks out one player, then one teammate, another teammate has to revive that particular teammate, because come just comes down to that one particular fight.
Definitely does, get down to that one particular fight if we just talk about it. But now, the way this team just played the the aggression that this team just showed. Both the teams I'm talking about it, right? Both the teams were pretty amazing, but Sandesh obviously deserves to be the MVP right now. 7 kills, 1146 damage. Brilliant.
Wow, that is certainly brilliant, and he just healed himself on 326. The healing done is only 326, and that's also impressive. But now the thing is that Vibes, they were dominating from the last 2 matches. We talked about the first Erangel and the Miramar too. So they had a good start. They literally have a good start. But if we talk about the top 4 players, 3 players from Pink, only one single player from Vibe, and that is Trikru.
Definitely, that is a jiggle if you just want to talk about it. And Season, Ayush, these two lads from PMQ again, they did pretty good for themselves. Season, look at the amount of damage that he just dished out in 2 kills.
Wow. It's massive, 1054. And we talk about Ayush. I think so he's the one who is literally utilizing that damage so that he can takes down some players. We talked about the longest distance kill. It is blah 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 from the side of T2K 380. Season, he has the advantage. He has the maximum assist, which is 5, and he used both utilities to his match with Sunday. Highest skill and highest damage is the same.
Just think about it, right? A map like Erangel had 21 utilities. Map like Miramar gets down to 15 utilities. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not a lot of difference. But if you look at the way the teams were executing and approaching the fights, then it does make a difference. And there's another similarity. Well, if we talk about difference in similarities, the team that was at the second, they had the highest kills both in Miramar and in Erangel, and that's why they are at the first right now. PNQ this time with 14 kills and 12 placement points.
Team 2K on third position. 18 points. PWP Esports, they also had a great outing with total 13 total points. KINGsNepal finally they stepped up. They got punished and they got punished in the first match of Erangel in this particular match, which was of Miramar. They are on the fifth position, total 11 kills, 11 total points.
Definitely, that's just the way it has been moving forward. Where if we talk about the players, and if we talk about the way the fight has been happening, so I would say incredible for the way to just start it up, and this is just looking brilliant altogether. But 9-16, yeah, these teams will have to just pick up pace for themselves, and that pace it should just arrive. I would say in the next match because that's important again.
I think the CampToWin, this is the second time this year, 0 points if I'm not wrong, but let's refresh over memories. We have the Oppo F19 Pro, but this was a fight in that Elementrix stage. He could have taken down at least 2 kills to back of his alive earlier, but that was not the case. Despite the fact Elementrix got some points, I think. So this is your 3-4 kill points. But if you talk about T2K, James, at this moment, I thought at least we need another player so that if it's pushing towards chaos, collecting some information, the backup have to be there.
Yeah, definitely. Talk about the backups, yeah, those were just coming up there. But think about it, right? The way the fights were being approached, there was some amazing fights were just going down. So slowly and steadily though, but yeah, the teams were looking really brilliant onto themselves. Utmarka, he does get taken down as he was just out there, and then we went down to the final circle. And final circle was really tricky.
This was tricky, but why literally, I think so the position they had and as well as the amount of cover they had, that was the reason why they moved to fight. But if we talk about the overall ranking, JyanMaara still leading the charge with 199 points, with 1 point far behind to complete that 200 points mark. But after this performance, Vibes, they just jump on to third position with 156 points.
They definitely do. Plus, they have to play more matches as well. I mean, they can potentially go to the first position as well. Depends on how they're going to be playing up their cards. But look at this: high voltage, DRS, PMPL. I mean, these teams are just out here. Some of them are playing today, some of them are not. But these teams, by staying here, it just means one thing, and that is they're trying to get down to the best of the best games for themselves. Trikru and Team XTREME, they will be having their matches left today and tomorrow. So they kind of can make it safely in the top 16. They are in the top 16 right now, but then 17 to 24, again, an important conversation.
You know what? The important part is maintaining a decent point cushion is always going to help you in those crucial times. But Elementrix slipped down to the 17th position. That outing from their side. On the other side, Let's Go 2, they also slipped down at the 18th position. The important part is Destiny. They were at the 21st position before this Miramar map. Now they are at the 20th position. So the hopes are still there. They have the capability to survive for so long. I think so. Only one single player was surviving from this particular team. If they focus on the survival timing and if they focus on the basic point, it might possible they'll fight back and they will secure a good position, or we can say they will secure a good position overall, right?
Definitely, they can. They can just secure a pretty good position into the overall ranking for themselves, just like you said. But now it comes down to another conversation. And now we are moving on to Erangel, then obviously Sanhok, then Erangel. There are 3 games remaining for today. 2 games did just finished up the second game with Vibes coming up on top. Obviously, but P and Crew they did even better. We talk about the kill points that they had for themselves. So Vibes, yeah, they have been seemingly they have been consistent with the gameplay. But it just comes down to one thing, and that is the other teams, the teams that are kind of at the lower table right now, will have to pick up the pace. It's kind of important at this moment.
Again, like if you're facing some problems, just go, just stick to a different plan. Like we saw that TNT, they were focusing on a split formation. It really worked out in their favor.
Yeah, definitely that did happen. But we're gonna go on a really short break. Coming right up is gonna be the match of Erangel. Don't go anywhere.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea?
Hello everyone and welcome back to Pubg National Championship Nepal 2021 powered by Oppo F19 Pro. Hashtag woke up your fun. My name is Ocean and alongside me is Shivansh. And we were having this conversation about, the way the teams are playing and the way they have been just, changing up their pace with each and every game. So I would just, love to take this conversation even further. What are your expectations from this Erangel, depending on where the circle kind of goes?
I'm sure that Vibes are going to dominate this Erangel as we just did earlier, but teams like P and Crew, why I'm just talking about this particular thing because the split formation, it sometimes it is very risky because if one player got spotted out, then the chances are very high that he got eliminated. But
Yeah.
despite of that fact, he was so confident in that type of we can say stand. They were literally taking down not one, not two, at least a whole squad one by one. But we have the playing path in front of us, starting from the side of Milta Power and heading towards the western side of hospital. And I'm sure the zone is just going to form towards the northern side. Let's see who's right or wrong.
Well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. But right now, just like you said, right, we are seeing the flight paths just coming out here. Poaching, Gadka Hospital, going to be good areas to just drop down for the teams. And the military base as well. I would say it's a decent area if JyanMaara, wants to. They could have gone there, but looks like they are changing down their strategies for this game. We'll see what good comes out of it. It might just be pretty good for them. We'll have to just maybe see through it. KINGsNepal, they are just dropping down to nowhere. That's their drop location. They don't change it. They just take it just as it is. So yeah, but right now, in a while, obviously, we'll be seeing that circle coming up.
Yeah, but where we introduce moving, like they're just moving towards the George Pool, I think so area, and they'll find good loot out there. On the other side, if we talk about JyanMaara, they're holding back the Kofa area. Few players towards those individual buildings, and
Uh,
again, as usual, my prediction is wrong. Like, I'm used to it.
yeah, it happens. You'll
It
get there.
happens.
You'll get there
Yeah.
someday. Maybe someday you'll get there.
Come on, like it's not maybe someday. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's focus on those, mathematics or the numbers. But right now, if we're talking about numbers, the teams who are on the third page of the leaderboard, they also have to focus on those numbers. And if I'm talking about Team Elementrix, they just slipped down onto the 18th position. This could be their team.
Well, if we just look for let's just focus on the map right now. Let's just focus on the fights and let's just focus on the way the fights are just happening all together. I would say somehow the teams that have just dropped down here, it might as well just be really important for the teams to hold their ground. Just think about it. If you're inside the circle,
Yeah,
if you're at a really good place inside the circle, you stay there. You just stay there and you don't move at all. Hey, you're inside the circle, right? It's kind of an
yeah.
easy place for you to just stay and just wait for the fight to come to you.
You know what? And if you're inside the circle, there's one good advantage is that you don't have to focus on those early rotations. You don't have to decide that from which path I'm going to participate inside the circle. And there are a huge amount of chances that a single team might be key for you. But right now, we talk about Team Io. Uh, Arsenic, he has that UMP in his hands, and they are just dropped down near the body area. So you'll find not, I am not saying good amount of food, but kind of
Yeah, kind of a decent if you just talk about it. But rules, okay, from PWP, just looking forward to find a good loot for himself, and obviously does find a buggy as well. So in less than a minute, we'll be seeing the zone just forming up with its own pace. The first circle is just gonna shrink down, and the teams that are outside the circle, they'll start moving. But this Erangel, I don't know why I feel comparatively as compared to the first Erangel, I feel like it's gonna be comparatively slow. I don't know. I just have that in my mind. I feel like it's gonna be slow.
totally agree with your point. But JyanMaara, they are at the first position. They just need that one crucial point to be on the top 8 sports. King just slipped down to the 8th position with 133 points in the previous match. They were decent, but I'm talking about, I would love to talk about the team XTR too. They They are looking pretty good. They are looking pretty decent, and right now I just expect same amount of gameplay from their side.
Probably. I mean, talking about the previous Erangel, yeah, it was phenomenal the way they were playing, right? And that similar amount of gameplay, that similar aggression, if it comes down, I would love to see it. Demon, he did spot that there was nothing there, and he still jumped in. I know why he did that. Well, uh, if we just talk about it, but now King Demon Whitey just moving on to the backlines again, just still trying to figure out those minute things to loot down, and looks like he found out 6 times at the end.
Scope is always like a better choice. But how this team, like how the players are going to use that, and that's the most important point. I would love to see a player using a bold action rifle, a bold action rifle in the Erangel map and just popping out some heads. Right now, if we talk about a player A spot, he has that UMP, and we all know that the damage is kind of decent and the fire rate is also awesome. But I still prefer Uzi over this gun.
I mean, that's obviously everyone's choice. If we just talk about it. I would say Uzi is a pretty obviously it's a pretty good weapon just to use it. But obviously, if you're taking up those close range fights, then sometimes things might as well just change. If we talk about mid range fights as well, Uzi does damage, but sometimes it just does not do the job. In close range though, it's brilliant. It's like nothing taken away from that weapon.
Yeah. Now, the important part is I just want to ask one question. What do you think? Will Vibes will continue their aggression and this secure again a double-digit kill amount of points, or they'll just fall apart and they face an elimination a very very early start? By the looks of it, they are pretty decent. They are inside the circle, every single player just collecting the points. But the important and the most interesting part is they are playing with a three-man lineup, still dominating the whole lobby.
Yeah, I mean that's the way they play, and that's kind of has been right off the bat. I mean that 3-man lineup has been really deadly. That's the thing about this team, right? They love to create chaos, and they always create chaos, and that's just their forte. If I just have to talk about it, well, XTREME Esports, they are also moving right now slowly and steadily, and looks like they're trying to find out good area for themselves. Miracle as well. Yeah, this is what I was saying, right? When they are inside, when you're inside the circle, so you just you just stay there. But Miracle, oh, spots down one, tries to take up the shot, does slight damage, but again, this is tricky. This is tricky for JyanMaara as they lose down on one of their players in the early stage. The job hasn't been finished though. The knock just arrived, but for JyanMaara, it's tricky.
Dante spots down one player. It's like in a very, very difficult spot. Spots down another, but that grenade could be lethal. I'm sure. Oh, I thought that was going to decent amount of damage, but that charge it could be lethal. But no, it's just backfire onto JyanMaara. And another grenade from the side of Dante. He might change up the side. He has that M249, and we all know that's the beast. When Shantae receives the first damage, it's only 50% HP, but the backup is also Shantae might go down. No, he's still surviving.
Gunnar just took his vehicle, went onto that area, and the weird part is he jumped out of the moving vehicle. His HP was take down to really low. He put up the HP, he put up the first aid, and then he's gonna go for the rev. So it's kind of really tricky for the lads to just look forward. As Chante is just out there, Gunnar knock and finish just coming up. Chante just confirming that one. And now moving forward, it's gonna be really tricky for the way the players are playing. And Spiky, okay, moves forward. Shah's just out there. Chante moving up forward again. Chante will be taken down though. This might as well just be a bad thing. But Shah is on low HP. Spiky is just pretty close to him now. Spiky wants to move forward, but Shah as well. Shah will be taken down. That's an exit. 4 kills coming on to EKTA. This team is impressive.
Yeah, and you know what you never expected, because at that position, Shante, he was in a very, very, very awful spot, but despite of that, he hadn't covered off the vehicle, and he has put M4 and a 3x onto that M4 and an M249, and he used that perfectly. That's how you're going to use that combination. But Jane, watch out, Demon. Might move inside towards the bridge, but Jane, look at that. The trigger discipline is so important.
Sprint definitely is so important if you just talk about it. Well, Arus, oh, it could have been a really good. It could have been a really good spray, but no, Kings gets just onto the back lines. Jane as well, just like you said, right? Jane spots down one, takes down one, a pretty good initialization, but he has to be in cover again. Goes down onto the cover again. Keep avoiding onto the back lines. He is just there, but the backup is
Oh,
onto the back lines, but the kill gets secured.
you know what? This type of coordinated play is always amazing, right? Jane just collecting a lot of information and feeding that information to his teammates, and now it's just good place compromise on that. Jane tried his level best to knock out another player, but look at that, the snake movement, the movement by his Dacia was so amazing that he dodged every single bullet. But the good thing is, now they're not going to move towards the bridge because T2K, they have a good hold of this bridge.
Yeah, Raider just now he's moving forward. It is kind of an important fight. Jane has okay. Jane gets taken down, so it becomes really tricky for Jane to just look forward to and to see as for what the fight just bring down for the players. Somehow, slowly and steadily, they're just trying. Jane, he won't be finished as Inception gets shot from the backlines, and there's another one from T2K. Looks like Inception is living into an Inception now.
Elementrix Inception, he has very low HP, but Liquid using that SLR with that elite X, and he just pins it down, blah blah blah, inside that shack. The players are pretty far away from each other, blah blah blah, in a very difficult spot. But if Elementrix, the player from Elementrix starts in towards them, then it might possible they will take him down and they'll open they'll get some kill points. They'll ensure that they're securing that one crucial kill point out there. But important part is they're not going to leave this compound too because they have a good hold inside the circle of this compound.
Exactly. They would want to stay here. They cannot just move away from this area. It kind of just, surrounds them on for good things. But with Sarga, looks like the fight that he started, his cover is blown. They know where he is, and they would want to take up a decent fight against him if it just comes down to it. Liquid just trying to take down someone. SLR. Oh, he does spot him up. Had he taken up a shot, it would have been easy though.
Blah 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 is has been compromised now. He's just moving away. He's still just moving inside the same compound. Look at that. If you talk about the mini map, the circle is just going to form towards the north side of the bridge, and King, he got stuck near the Nova Reply Bridge.
Definitely, they did get stuck onto that area, and now they're just trying to find a decent area for themselves. Mr. Yosu gets spotted down. For Mr. Yosu, it might as well just be a tricky situation for him, but Inception is the one that gets taken down. It's a second knock for the lad. Just talk about it. Second knock coming up, Mr. Yosu. Oh, he makes it to safety, but his location is spotted. He's on low HP, really low HP. One wrong move can take Elementrix down from this area again.
That was a risky move, and blah blah blah. Literally, my friend, capitalizing on that perfectly on the other side. Shots out to Saga on the top of the building. Mike's gonna take down, and yeah, spot and knock. But I don't think so that they are gonna just push towards that compound because they know that there is another player inside the compound. The revive is going to be there as well as they have to move inside the circle because the blue zone is closing in.
Yeah, that's just the way it is. Liquid just moving closer to Mr. Hughes. You might as well just take him with him as it feels like his buggy's tires were burst down or not maybe. All right, they're just going together with each other. And they're just trying to find up a good area for themselves. We'll have to see what happens. T2K with Sarga, his last first aid being popped up, and now they're moving up forward as well. Inception, oh, he was spotted down again, but Jane, this time he's getting shotted from the right hand side. He just drops down, but has had a crucial amount of HP down onto him. Hyozu gets taken down, gets finished instantly as Delta starts up a brilliant fight, and Liquid as well.
Oh, this is not good. This is not literally good, and this is a bad start for Elementrix. Lost two players, and Look at the position of Delta and Reaper. They literally set up crossfires, set up, and that literally worked out in their favor. Secure 3 kills, 15 teams alive in this lobby, and plus he is taking cover of that tree. But how long he can survive? Delta putting up a grenade and just throw it a little bit far away.
Exactly, a little bit far away from those areas was but Inception that he was onto the smoke line, but now he gets spotted down. 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots, 4 shots. He gets taken down
Yeah.
now as Delta does take up another one from the team of Elementrix. Sus is the last one surviving. Sus is comparatively close to Delta than he actually realizes, but he has spotted Sus down to the exact spot as of where he is.
On the other side, T2K Change just ending the story of Inception. He goes down. Sus is the only player surviving, and he is not in a good position. We can see two teams just on the back lines in PWP Esports just showcasing the aggression and arrogance. And we can see that RNG is cooking up for one grenade. And it's quite possible that he could confirm that kill and knocks out another. And yup, it's the same thing. PWP Esports doing a lot of
Oh.
top in the elimination. King faced an elimination, got eliminated at the 15th position.
Wow. Wow. The way that they have been just looking on to the fights, it was something out of bounds if we just talk about it. Now moving forward, DeltaX is just going out to the circle, goes down to the lines of Shelter, the backsides of Shelter. You can see the cluster of teams, but again, EKTA Esports, they have the safest area. They have an area which is not contested yet. They have an area of which they can take really good covers for themselves. Looks like EKTA is gonna have a really good game again in Erangel.
Yeah, as well as PWP Esports, they're also stepping up, secured 7 kills, I think, if I'm not wrong. On the other side, Raw also like emerging and securing some kills too. We can see the players are taking down some individuals. The fight is, I think, so the fight is always long range fight, but right now, Legend on the other side secure that one. Just they goes down for free and crew. DR is blazing is the one going to take him down, but he is Destiny. Lost one player. Legend is still holding that particular angle.
Well, we'll see what PN does in the situation as Britain is just out there. But look at that Sherpa. He just heard that the vehicles were coming pretty close to him, but CampToWin, they're just moving on to the other sides as well as they want to find up a good area for themselves inside the zone. The entry in the zone is not going to be easy. They'll have to snatch it up. But look at that! As Ayush was being taken out, Destiny's other players were being taken out as well as Kira is the last one surviving, trying to take up a good fight. But looks like Kira, he's on low HP. Legend trying to move forward. Just tries to go for it, but the revive. Oh, he's gonna go for the revive. Kira, it's an important position for Kira now as he takes one down, does the damage. The finish did happen, but Sandesh saves the day.
Sandesh again stepping up and save his team. Oh my goodness. Malik on the other side keeps a lot of damage. It's just 5% HP, but he goes down with the side of another team, I think. And Vibe unable to secure a single point, faced an elimination at the 13th position. Right now, we talk about the Shelter area. We are witnessing a lot of teams in the same vicinity. Elementrix is still there, but now he goes down by Carrara.
Well, this is just how the fights keep on happening, and this is just how the players just try to move forward, but things does not go into the favor. Sometimes season the nades are moving above him. Looks like this one might as well just be a really good one. Season, you gotta watch out! No, he gets taken down! As Nopsang with a really good nade just takes him up. And now Sandesh onto the left side. Does Nopsang know Sandesh's location? Or is he gonna go for another one onto the same direction? Yes, he goes for another one to the same direction. No damage done yet. Goes for a smoke pretty close to him. We'll have to move forward. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens right now. Vortex on very low HP. Doesn't HP has actually, but it's just going to focus on those revivals. Now, revivals are pretty important on these type of situations. The two almost 120 meters far away from the zone, and after 40 seconds, the blue zone just going to also close in. And CampToWin again, a bad outing from the side of this particular team, got eliminated at the 11th position without securing a single kill point. This is not good for them. But if we talk about teams like Trikru Nepal, they just want to engage in some fight while moving in securing a good position for them.
Gara just, trying to dish out a lot of damage. As for what, he's trying to take up a good fight, as he does manage to take down that vehicle. But the players, it becomes a potential cover for the players of Team Extreme. One crew, they'll have to take up this fight if they want to just, have a straight up entry inside the zone. Otherwise, it's going to be really, really bad fight for the players. For the lads, if we talk about it, one crew, they are still, trying to find up a decent area for themselves. Look at this, they are trying to move forward. Ghazi was just out there. Will be moving up forward as well. Zarga takes down Reaper. Fights are happening. Still, 10 teams surviving, 33 players alive. Fifth zone is coming up.
Now, these are the two teams, right? PWP and T2K, who were pretty decent in the Miramar map, and they again are, both the teams are again against each other. But who's going to win this fight? Only time will answer your question. On the other side, PN2, they're doing a lot of job, but Legend not in a good position because Black Boy pinned him down. He got knocked out, but Gara secured the kill of Kazi by a vehicle, and he just stays knocked out. But
Oh, no.
that was a risky move, and they got punished.
Definitely was a risky move if we just talk about it. But somehow, One Cruise the Pain is onto the backlands as well as he's trying to get inside the circle. 32 meters. Team Extreme gets taken out. Down to 9 teams. 26 players alive. And looks like PWP is the next team that's in trouble right now. As 2 players have been taken down, they need to be revived as soon as they can. But one of them will be finished. XTREME Esports, they are just securing a good area for themselves, and they're trying to build up a lot of pressure.
That pressure is going to be very, very incredible. If they somehow manage to take a walking by Cinema are taking it at 9.2k. Blah blah blah. Spots out one player, but Aayo Team doing a lot of job too. On the other side, we see that Miracle knocked out one player of PWP, so the final player is surviving, and the one last player is surviving, and the final is going to be there. But T2K not escaping that situation, unable to do anything. But right now, we can see that another team faced the task, and that is PWP.
PWP, they do get eliminated. Teams and 19 players. Well, 18 now as Jason takes on Team Zarga as well. He comes in. So you look at they do have one player surviving. That's blah blah blah. As you can see him, and he is pretty next to the team of TS. He does drop down his backpack, which is a pretty good decision right now. Looks like XTREME Esports are trying to maintain that high ground for themselves, and they're entering inside the circle. That's flawless. One player enters in the zone, makes up the way for 3 lads, and now 3 lads are going to be entering into the zone. That's a flawless way to just mark up the entry and move forward. XTREME DRS, they kind of have similar percentages of when they're second enough for themselves into the forecast. Then comes down to Team TS, Raw, PN Crew, and T2K. As T2K has just 1 lad surviving for themselves, and that too on lower amount of HP, so it kind of just becomes tricky.
It is tricky, it is certainly tricky, but teams who are pretty far away from the zone, I'm talking about 100 meters far away from the zone, the travel, or we can see the journey or the rotation is not going to be that easy. I'm talking about same thing, Zero, he got punished with Frag Boy, shot from one there, Arsenal is going to knock him down and protect him. So he just finally switch to that M76 twin, yup, saw that kill too. Only 16 players, 17 players are alive, and now, this is not looking good for DHR, but Zero, he got knocked out by Frag Bennett. He took his just surviving with that one player.
That's just trying to survive with that one player for themselves. We'll have to see what happens as XTREME Esports looks like their one player is kind of in a bit of a trouble as well, but they're gonna go for the revive. That's a pretty good decision right now, pretty early and pretty decent decision as what the players are doing. Chante will be revived, and after that will be just moving up forward. Look at that revival coming up, but they have 10 kills. I mean, XTREME Esports and Erangel, they're just on fire.
True, I don't agree with that point, but Frag Boy using it 6 times on an M762. That's also impressive. GRS Gaming, they have the advantage, they have the cover of that ridge, and they are inside the circle too. But I don't think so that there's any team who's going to contest this location. But T2K blah 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 goes down with the play zone. DSP secured the decent position. He just got eliminated at the position with 3 kill points. Miracle. Originally, going to go to the place of PES, but PES, they're just holding out.
Yeah, that's just the way it is happening. Miracle, meanwhile, just onto that area gun. Okay, a good nade can actually just take down Gun, but looks like he has plans for A spot. A spot will have to move forward. He gets taken down from the other side as Spikey was just out there. That's the way you give up a perfect cover to your teammate. And that's the way you take up a really good fight as what XTREME is doing, and that is the way they are just looking really good. Aayo Team Ts, they do get eliminated, 4 teams surviving. XTREME Esports moving forward to another chicken dinner, a potentially amazing chicken dinner, but draw 9 kills for that team as well. You cannot rule this team out of the competition.
And all the 4 players are alive, so that is also a tricky situation for all the teams who are inside the circle. Sandesh only and final players to mention side of PNQ. The circle is also closing in. Bro official on this side had good start. Frankly, they received some amount of damage. Starting is the one who dished out some damage, but on the other side received some damage too. And now Nemesis goes down. Brad Ball, what he's doing? He knocked out one player, finished him instantly. Shante has cut him to it, but he's backed off.
Yeah, that does just happened at this moment. Vishal onto the backlines again, and XTREME put this. They're trying to just figure out a pretty good area for themselves if they can take up a good fight onto these areas. Look at the Spiky. A good nade can actually take down Spiky, but looks like it will be deflected down from that rock. And DRS. Well, DRS is still surviving. This time they're going for the placement points, and it looks like it, as they don't have any kill point right now. They will have to start it up as soon as they can. But now with the numbers advantage and with the game that there is, I would love to see what Sandesh does, as that is the only lad surviving. Meanwhile, every other team has either 3 or 4 players.
Wow.
Oh my god, a Spiky goes down again.
I think so. Shaw already heard those footsteps and he literally capitalized on those footsteps and knocked out one player. Always amazing to watch. Shante knocked out one player, but no, unable to survive for too long. It wasn't a good approach from their side, but Clayton is the one who's going to eliminate one team. Sandesh is still surviving.
Makes it up to top 3. Gets that double digit point onto the placement marker. 15, 12, and 10. He gets 10 placement points as of now. Maybe he's just waiting. He's just waiting for the other teams to take up a fight, and then he'll maybe just secure those kills. It might as well just be a thing. But he's 12 meters outside the circle. Zone's coming up. He has to get in. DRS versus Raw versus PNQ. Sandesh as the last lad of the team. Jolson moving up forward has 106 bullets onto himself, but Sandesh, one nade. He's gonna throw it. Sada, watch out as Sandesh starts it up. Takes down one. Vishal, now he has to decide. Take up a fight against DRS or take up a fight against PNQ, but Sandesh with those kill confirmations takes down Vishal as well, has 6 kills. Sandesh is at another level. He's trying to take up a fight, takes on one more, but the buggy takes him out. Oh my god, this fight.
I am speechless, Ocean. Nobody is there to stop that ride. And like, nobody you touch done whenever it comes out, we are 50-50. We always have the upper advantage. The buggies are cut him down. We are in your 4 kills to start taking only 560 damage. Wow.
Yeah, because 4 kills, right? They had 4 kills.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons, but they are on the 7th spot right now. What a fight! What a battle as it just happened, right? PNQ, the one player Sandesh, he has been playing phenomenally today. In the previous game as well, it was PNQ having really good points for themselves. In this game as well, it was PNQ. But the way this lad just played, and obviously alongside pretty good fights that were happening right next to him, I loved it. I loved this Erangel.
You know what? I literally loved it too. But the way like PNQ started their journey was decent, but Sandesh, when he was like the lone survivor, he knew that this is his last chance, and he has to do something. If he spots out one player, he has those grenades and the molotov so that he can use that into his advantage. And he did the same thing. EKTA, if we talk about this particular team, they were amazing. So as PWP Esports, but at the end, it was DRS who got that particular.
Definitely. That's just the way it was. But now, if you look at the fights and everything, and if you look at the most valuable player, it's obviously going to be Sandesh again. 6 kills, 1,089 damage, dealing 201, 4 assists. Imagine this lad had 4 assists as well.
Oh wow! And I just want to mention another team that is the PN The whole team just secured 9 kills, and out of those 9 kills, Sanjay secured 6. And just one more thing, and that is how many points does this team secure? So 12 points from the police, and it's a total 9. I think 21 total points for the team. I'm just waiting for the match ranking.
Yeah, we'll see that. We'll see that in a while for sure. But right now, as what you just said, and you could look at the top 4 players as well: Sandesh, Fragboy, Dante, and Delta coming up. PWP, Raw, XTA, and obviously PNQ. So it's like different teams just coming up here with the star players, just giving out a lot of damage either and or kill, and obviously survival times.
Fragboy in the second position with 5 kills. Not that far behind from XTA, but Delta X, this particular player had he was using that MP9 as well as the MP1 combination team. But the important part is when he backed off this engagement, despite that movement, it just fired back. Now, bit about the match summary. Vishal has the longest kill in his favor. It's 230 meters.
Yeah, that's just how it is. You can just look at the match summary. 1089 damage. 20 utilities used, 4 assists. We talked about that. Vishal obviously 213 meters. You talked about that. So yeah, the fights were happening pretty close to each other as per all the fights. But match ranking, a team with chicken dinner goes down to 4th position.
And never witnessed this.
Wow.
We can see this, like if you have the highest amount of kills, and you just mentioned this earlier, right? You just mentioned this sequence earlier. If you have a control, if you just move on the skill points as well as placing points, then you might be on the top. First, second, and third position. The teams who are on these respective positions, all the 3 teams have the same amount of total points, which is 21.
Yeah, that's just how it was and how it has been. But I don't know, the way the fights were going up all together. I just love the way the fights were. XTREME, Destiny, Cinema. I mean, there are so many teams that did not get even a single kill here, starting from Cinema Art till JyanMaara. Whilst onto the first table, you saw a lot of teams with a lot of kills. That's domination.
Oh yeah, that's certainly domination with Vibes. So bad outing for their side, but they were consistent throughout the 2 matches. Now just next, but Elementrix. And CampToWin and Cinema Art with that 1, 2 points their name.
Yeah, that's just the way it has been. But I would say I personally enjoyed the way the match was going altogether. Obviously, there were a lot of things that were eliminated early, and in that the name Vibes just comes up. I don't know if the things went bad or what happened, but Vibes, I'm pretty sure they'll come back stronger. But PNQ, well, the team has been just dominating right from the start. This is where the fight started against EKTA and JyanMaara, in which 4 kills were secured by EKTA without losing even a single player. They did go for the revive, but Jane, this one was amazing.
The bridge camp was flawless, but after that bridge camp, seeing the position as well as their journey was not that strong, and they faced elimination. But after this, if we talk about PMNC, they were literally dominating every single player. But this push was not like viable. This was not a viable option. That's what Trikru Nepal got punished, lost 2 players with an instant.
Yeah, they did lose those players at the instant. But this is where, EKTA was taken down, and then DRS. I mean, I don't know the way PMNC had the buggy not been there, I believe we could have taken up a really good fight. But look at this, JyanMaara right now still 1 point away from hitting the 2-digit marker, but Raw official, they are 6 points away from JyanMaara.
Yeah, they are on the 4th position, EKTA on 3rd, but PWP Esports securing that 6th position with 152 points. DRS Gaming not that far behind on the 7th position in the overall ranking, 146 points. But I'm still waiting for the second page of the overall ranking because things are interesting. Things get interesting out there. T2K very position, so as KINGsNepal. But KINGsNepal, before this match, I think so, they were at the 8th position. Now they have slipped down to the 10th position.
Yeah, they did go down onto the 10th position, KINGsNepal, if we just talk about it. High voltage, meanwhile, yeah, high voltage is at 11th. If we talk about Trikru and XTREME, these teams are down to 14th and 16th for themselves, 91, 89 points. And obviously, again, these teams have matches for them, so they can just be there. Elementrix on to 17. Let's go. Obviously, official. They're not playing today. They will be playing tomorrow. 18th position for themselves. Aayo Team Ts. This team again now. Think about it. 2 games remaining. They'll have to be in top 16 and they'll have to be at a comfortable spot. Otherwise, things for the teams that have played 18 games, it might just end. I'm talking about CampToWin
Yes.
and Aayo Team Ts.
Yes, it is that point. Now, CampToWin, they were not promising matches to not in their favor in facing those early eliminations. So, Destiny, they just played their 13 matches, 2 more matches there for this team. If they are unable to, get some decent points
Yeah.
today, they still have 5 matches left so that they can, qualify for the finals. But at least, like, don't like gamble those type of situations. Just go for it, be like ruthless. Otherwise, we could see what the issue.
Yeah, otherwise things might as well just go really bad for you. Again, we will see as how that happens. But right now, obviously, we're moving on to the match of Sanhok. But before getting to the match of Sanhok, we're going to go to a really short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, if you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
Hello everyone and welcome back to PUBG Mobile National Championship Nepal 2021 powered by Oppo F19 Pro #Woke Up Your Fun. My name is Ocean and alongside me is Shivansh. And so far we have been through the journey of 3 games of today. Now we're going to be moving on to a fast-paced map, which I don't know if it's going to be fast-paced or not, because we're going to go to Sanhok and then obviously it's going to be Erangel to end the things of the day. But Sanhok, I don't know. What are your expectations from the map of Sanhok?
My expectations are, I think, so Elementrix and the team Destiny will fight back in Camp Town 2 will secure some decent amount of points. I think so good amount of points. At least they will hit double digits. Otherwise, teams like
Yeah.
Vibes, or we can say EKTA, and Crew, they'll dominate.
Yeah, that's important, right? You'll have to, those teams will have to dominate. I mean, that has been their forte so far. But
Uh,
without further ado, right, we are moving on to the map of Sanhok from Bantai to the sidelines of Hatin and Khao is where we can see the flight paths just, going down, and boot camp paradise. All potentially good areas are on this flight path.
so, Ocean, this is the time. Let me do another prediction.
Yep.
So the zone is going to be towards the center of the map. Come on, like I know I've done the prediction with from the last 2 maps and they
Okay,
were
I'll give you
wrong, but
this one. I'll
okay,
give you
okay.
this one. Yeah.
So it's just going to form towards the center, and that mock it's not going to be inside the circle. So as Hatin, but areas like caves, it might possible it is going to be inside the circle. Let's see if it's
Okay. Well, so many expectations coming up for this lad. But look at this, Destiny's one player. He's dropping down onto the backside of docks, which obviously sounds like a really, really good area. Just drop down there, move to the side of docks. I somehow feel, they'll have to
yeah,
meet down to the final 2 players that are onto the upper side of Cape and Kampong.
yeah.
Let's see what happens. But look at the drop of PWP from Nakam to Sami to the southern lines of Sami as well. They are taking down like 2.5 cities, I would say.
And that's amazing. Like they will get some good loot out there at least. I think so. We can expect a full level 2 kit and level 3 helmets and vests too. But T2K, look at that. Two players towards the Mongai area and two players towards the Camp Bravo, towards the northern side of the Camp Bravo. But TRS also going towards the same area. So it might possible with Saga and Chain they'll have a fight. They will engage in a fight. They will engage a fight between the players of against the players of TRS.
Definitely, we'll have to see if that happens, right? But in a while, obviously, we'll be seeing the circle just forming up, and with the zone forming up, we'll be seeing, where the players and where the teams just are going to be looking
Oh
really
yes.
good for themselves. And center lines, huh?
So
Ruins is where the
the
circle
yeah, I mentioned some cities and they are inside the circle. You can see the cave is still there, right? Next to it. But that's not the case though.
is.
The
Yeah,
important part is
sure.
T2K. They have to move inside the circle so as DRS because the split is so deadly. Formation.
It definitely is. But looking at the circle, I'm still thinking onto a few things. That is, Kings Nepal. You remember the previous game? It was not pretty good for them. So this game, they'll have to make it a good game. They have the circle. They can go for it. But look at Elementrix's inception as he's away from his team. There's raw in between these two, these three, just 3-1 split. If Elementrix does not play the card right, CampToWin will just might as well take him down. But look at this PN2 Sandesh. He has started taking players down already.
And secured one kill too. Arsenic goes down, and on the other side, we always do like we in crew always go for that explosive start. And if they just focusing on those type of situation, they'll always gonna dominate you. But Cam to win lost a player in a very early stage. But Elementrix also in the same vicinity. Cam to win towards the boot camp area right now. Archie was struggling to jump out from that window, but finally, he's regrouping with his teammates. Elementrix on the other side, just the other one kill. So I can still see that they are just focused on those groups because this is again an important match for them.
It definitely is. It definitely is an important match for them. If we just talk about it, Sus out of the backlines alongside his own teammate, obviously Elementrix, they have one confirmation for themselves. Might as well want to go for more. But they'll have to find out where the players are, and it looks like they're trying to find out where the players are, but it's still kind of not exactly working down in their favor. So we'll see how that happens.
Speaking how this will happen. Now, Camp to win. They have a good control of the main building in the boot camp. They can literally spot down the players from the mountains. If if they want to take some fight. So they can work on that intel if they somehow manage to spot down some players. But the important part is teams are just going for that passive approach, not engaging in some early fights, except we saw Elementrix and Crew, both the teams securing one crucial kill point in very early start, early stage. Now, the zone, when the zone will start shrinking in, it will force the team to engage in some fight or to back off.
Yeah, probably it will just happen in this way. So we'll have to how this thing just happens. If we talk about it, somehow the players would just want to have pretty good fights for themselves. Otherwise, things might as well just go really bad. So things will get down onto a tricky level. So we'll have to see what just happens. But looks like this is what the classical Sanhok is. Just stay prone, stay low, and wait for fights.
Reaper is using those vehicles for the rotations, Elementrix, Inception. He might fall in the death trap set up by PWP Esports. But both the teams are just in front of each other. Like if they can manage to spot down one player, then they will engage in some fights. And after that, we'll notice that which team will just pop off with the victory. Now the important part is not compromising your location is decent stuff, but holding an angle for so long might backfire.
Yeah, it might. Inception. This becomes tricky as PWP is just pretty close to the labs of Elementrix, but the zone's coming up as well. Look at the cinema art. Too high. Pretty close. JyanMaara Samir onto the backlines. They spotted on the players. The damage was done on Gunner. But now it's time for the Molotov. Obviously, it's not going to dish out a lot of damage. But look at the JyanMaara as they're just going out in the open. Samir is just out there too high. Will take down. And Pratik onto the backlines again. He does take down one from JyanMaara as well. As Snipe will be taken down as well. Pratik
Oh no.
going with this Uzi onto this range with a hip fire. Takes down one
What?
more from the backlines. So it was Pratik and he pretty much. Oh, he does. He did dust down the players. That was brilliant.
Up, and you know what? I also want to congratulate, and I also want to mention Sasuke. He was there to provide cover to Pratik. At that time, that Diggle firing from the side of Pratik was amazing. Now, DRS also reached up, moving towards the 40 area, and I can say the same thing for T2K. They are inside the circle, but yet so far away from the team. Now, TES. Look at the position of the players of TS0 just moving from the water line towards Tambang area. So there's no team there, not a single team near the Tambang area just testing that pretty decent compound. So Team TS will enjoy until and unless to move away.
Yeah, that's just how it has to be. So somehow, as the players are just trying to get the best for themselves. But this zone just slightly moving on to the northern side, not exactly, low, but slightly moving on to the northern side. It just, gets me onto one thing, and that is to understand how the players are there. XTREME Esports, they are trying to, like most of the times we've seen XTREME Esports getting good inside the circle, but this time obviously they don't have a fair area, a fair share inside the zone, I would say. So as to say, so they'll have to just do a lot of hard work to find up a pretty decent place in the zone.
Hard work pays off sometimes, but smart work also helps you. But now, important part is vibes. This is moving from the southern side of the safe zone. They are just towards very close to the Nakam area. Now, DRS, they are engaging in a fight. Nima, he got knocked out. Not looking good for this particular team because they are just having a fight against the players of Ekta have an upper advantage because they knocked out one player.
Yeah, that they have just taken down the players if we just talk about it. But the players are still trying to find up a decent area and just trying to go for a good fight. I would say the cluster around ruins is going to be really disastrous for a few teams. As Kings Nepal's Kanzo does get taken out, PWP sweepers have been taken down, DRS Nima has been taken down. You see the plus signs pretty close to the players. It's a bad news. Just look at that. Look at that. You can't even go for the revivals.
As you just mentioned, the revive is going to be difficult for them, but Nima, he got finished off, and the kill confirmation is already here on the other side. Elementrix might do a third party PWP. Never expected this from the southern side. Next turn, it's also already done a lot of damage. It's going to engage in a very difficult match. But Miracle! Come on, man, just step away and just step out from that situation and confirm the one kill.
They do, confirm that kill for themselves. But now, look at that, the way the fights are just, happening. And Ekta, they're moving up forward again. DRS Muffin Ninja, does he know the exact location? Dante looks like he knows where Ghalson is. And he's just trying to take up a good fight. As he spots on that bike, all right, he does spot on that bike out there. Let's see what happens.
See what happens. So with that information, at least can focus on that one player just gonna move towards or one pick off that bike, so they might punish him. But right now, in the esports, they are also moving towards the safe zone. On the other side, DRS, they are not looking good. Lost another player in a fight, and they are literally struggling a lot. We still have 15 teams left, 51 players alive, and the important part is the teams who were like showcasing that aggression right now, they just slowed down.
They did, just slowed down onto this area. Obviously, it's kind of the time and the fight as per what it calls for it. The fights do call for a slow pace right now. Inception already does take down one as well. The confirmations, it's just slowly and steadily coming up. Spiky, the helmet is totally damaged if you just look at it, and the players are moving forward. Kante as well, just trying to find up a good area for themselves. Muffin, Ninja, DRS onto the backlines. I mean, the second circle's coming up, so everyone will have to focus on the rotations.
So, Steve, you have to focus on those rotations. But Reaper, he still want to engage in a fight spot. Down one player of Elementrix, grenade, cancel it out. Still going to focus on the M4 once into the 3-time spot down the leg. But unable to dish out the amount of damage. The good thing is the backup is also there, just providing a lot of cover to his teammates, but that grenade could be lethal if it's dropped down perfectly. Now PWP Esports, the player Reaper is holding a crucial angle, just sitting inside the compound, but his position already compromised and he received a ton of damage. He has that 1% hit, he's going to use it because he is ready for a fight. Inception, his position is amazing.
Yeah, the position is just amazing out there. Reaper onto the backlines again. As for what the players are trying, Reaper just stays out Elementrix. It's coming. The rain's coming. I'm telling you, the rainstorm is coming. As Liquid and Mr. Hughes, they are just pretty close. PWP, they will have to just mark up their rotations, mark up themselves, but they cannot. As Legend from the backside takes down Reaper. There's a confirmation on 15th spot. Liquid, he's moving forward, but does he know that the danger lies ahead of him now?
Think so. I don't think so that we know this, but the good thing is they secured that 1-1 kill. That could be the road off for them. Why Esports again playing on the edge of the season every single time. This hits him, but Malik, he's not in a good position because he is receiving a lot of damage from the side of King, and he is alone. He is alone out here, taking cover of the red. But King, the players are in 2 plus. I think it must call a 3-1 3-1 split. He was throwing some random grenades and he would dish out single amount of damage. At least they know that where is the player, but this is backing off. I don't know. Maybe they just don't want to be in an open area.
And maybe they just don't want to be in an open area for themselves. As King KYT, Demon Whitey onto good areas. Kanzo as well, just trying to find up a good area. Jiggle gets taken down. Vibes is in a lot of trouble altogether. So many teams is trying to find up so good areas for themselves, but it's just not happening. Kiva YT onto the backlines again. Nishan as well. Everyone just is focusing on their movements, trying to find up a good area. Oh, okay. The teammate just shutting down the door on his own teammate. That happens.
Yeah, that happens. Sometimes that happens. But the thing is, Zero Sports down Rabid in the water lines and just punished him. Malik again in a very, very difficult spot. He's the final player now for the side of Vibes. And then the previous match, they secured 0 point. It seems like they are just going to face the same thing in the Sanhok map too. But the important part is Malik. We all know his gun power is awesome, and as well as his IQ, the IQ level gameplay is also amazing. Now, they are on the edge, so he's inside the circle. He's pretty safe. We're talking about being safe. Team Elementrix also just opting for the same thing. They are just playing on the edge of the safe zone.
Yeah, they are just onto the edge sides, and that looks good, right? All they have to do is just focus onto the front end of the fight for themselves. That's what the teams will have to just look forward to. But right now, Demon Whitey is just out here, Kanzo as well. Look at this, PN crew kind of at the center lines right now. They don't need to worry about anything, but the circle's gonna play a gamble. Most likely, the circle should go north, but if the circle shifts to the southern side, that will be a really big gamble for a lot of teams. The teams at the northern side will have to look forward to what they do in the strategies. Teams at the southern side, they'll have to just know we don't have to worry about anything. But right now, this is the moment of truth, and this is what I was talking about. The teams at the northern
Yeah.
side, they will have to look forward to how do they cross this river.
Now, Rob, they are going to face players of Team PMQ. Now, again, look at the position of Team PMQ. 2 players are sticking together, and the other 2 players, they are literally so far away. 1 plays towards the edge of the zone, and 1 plays towards the core of the center. Now, if they can spot down one team or they will punish one team, then it might be their game. But XTREME is doing a very risky job, right? It's moving that circle while staying in a almost boost going down vehicles. But somehow they managed to close in, but received a lot of damage. I think he is far away from the zone, but Arus from Destiny spots them now. Sandesh using a star 98 in the span of map. Now one.
Yeah, I mean, they do. You know, it just comes down to it, and players do like to use these for themselves, and that does happen. Well, we'll have to see how the fights actually just keep on moving forward as we have 14 teams and obviously 45 players alive. There's a situation spiking onto the backlines again as the players are just trying to find out good areas for themselves. Spiky, he is just out here. He will have to move forward onto the circle as the circle is 57 meters away from him. We'll have to see how he just gets down to that area. Spiky just trying to find up good secured areas for themselves. But Destiny, all right. Destiny moved forward. This is where they can take up a fight. But Galton, look around this rock, man. Look around this rock. There's trouble. There's trouble under the backsides of the rock. With Galton, he's moving outside, maybe giving up the first hit to his teammate. All right, no, they are choosing to go through the bike. But 0-0-0. Okay, now, well, this lad has to move forward as well. He spots down, spots the team. Does take up
Oh
damage.
no!
Does give up damage. No, he does not. Now
Oh,
he
yes.
can. Now he can. Now he can. Oh, he moves onto the back lines.
No!
Oh my god.
That was a close call, to be honest, Sachin. But DRS Gaming has to, survive in that situation. Moving inside the circle is not going to be a difficult task for them because they have the fastest vehicle right now. They have that right. But again, they're taking damage from the back line. Agent's just going to apply those bandages while sitting inside the on top of the buggy. KINGsNepal next one, very close to the players of Destiny. On the other side, Raw stepping up their gameplay and taking down some players. I think so. Raw, they are moving inside the circle while keeping the fight.
They are just trying to move inside the circle. Well, Spike does take down one. Kira is just out there on this area spread as well. Kira is trying to take down someone. Slipknot takes down Mafia, and then just so many fights just happening out here. Kira, oh, he gets taken out as well. Will be finished. Yes, he will. Malik just trying to get onto the good spot for himself. Sandesh just onto the back lines against a raw frag boy, and Malik takes down Kira. We saw that happening as with a good nade. Takes down Spiky. So yeah, fights have started, but still. We still have to look forward to the chaos moment as we are down to the fifth circle.
Oh no, Muffin Box knocked out one player. Grayson also knocking down some of the players, but Sandesh not stopping, retaliating back and taking down some players too. The fifth circle, the damage of the blue zone is going to be lethal. So the teams who are inside the play zone, they are quite happy, but the teams who are just pretty far away from the blue zone, they are going to face the front. But DRS Gaming, they keep the 13 position with 3 total kills. Sandesh, look at that. On top of the HUD, utilizing that situation, utilizing that position, and now he's going to smoke off one angle. So I think why he's doing that so that he can stock out the vision from a particular angle so that he'll not get spotted out.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Destiny, they do get taken out as well. We are down to 11 teams and 30 players alive. Dipesh, one wrong move and Sandesh is ready. One movement. Sandesh is just ready. Looks like he's going to go
Okay.
for an aid. He's going to go for a throw. Let's see if it actually. He spots him, takes him, takes the shot, takes the shot, takes down the player. Will go for the finish. Sandesh is looking confident now again.
But I still have that one question in my mind. Why the switch to a grenade? Despite of the fact he has that angle, right? He can literally take down that one player with just M4 one second. I still have that one question. What do you think about that?
I mean, I would say it is still, pretty decent if you just, look forward to it. But right now, look at this. With Sarga, he's trying to spot down the players. I mean, this is crucial. Just think about it. He was going for a decent need. Had the player stayed there, it would have been, a bad news otherwise. But now look at this. Everyone is just, popping up those first aids. They're trying to move forward. It's not just working up in their favor. Season versus Arceus is going to be a crucial fight because Arceus' HP is going low slowly and steadily. He's going to go for the bandages. He cannot now. He knows it's done. He will be taken down by the zone. Zone MVP. Yes, zone taking down the players now.
Yeah, right now we can see the teams who are on the blue zone watching a lot of damages, also losing those hopes to to stay to survive for so long. But right now, KINGsNepal is moving up, moving inside the circle. But PNQ, this team is just literally making it difficult for them because they knocked out one player and he again switched to a one player. Now, if Ayush goes down, they'll not collect information from this particular angle, but Nixon switched to that Thompson. I don't know why again.
I mean, Thompson is a pretty amazing weapon if you just talk about it, and it's gonna be good. I mean, he has 50 bullets onto that weapon. Meanwhile, Season takes no liquid. Elementrix a lot of trouble. Even while he gets taken down as well. Looks like PMPL Sandesh again is deadly. The lad has 5 kills. How is Sandesh doing it all of a sudden? The lad is just not changing up the pace. I mean, obviously he does have that experience that comes onto him on these kind of lobbies. But look at that, takes down another
Oh,
one.
what?
Just sit back, moves forward, tries to find up another cover, will finish another one. There it is. Sandesh and Season. They obliterate PMPL.
Securing a lot of kills, hitting that double-digit mark in the kill feed. With right now in you look at that, their position is also amazing, and the other three teams, they are inside the circle. Ayush, we can see that he's finished off one more player, but he has to be careful from the sidelines. And yes, I was talking about the same thing. He goes down on the other side. Legend not stopping, just increasing the kill numbers, but Legend also he just also compromised his position. Now it's a 1v3v3 situation. We in crew doing a lot of job, but they can literally turn the tide.
They can, literally turn the tide for themselves. We'll have to see, how that just happens overall. But right now, what I would say with the fights and with everything that is happening, Team Extreme's Muffin, can he or can he not just, take down a pretty good fight for himself? Sandesh, oh, he has been spotted down. He has been taken down. Yes, he has. As XTREME starts up the fight. Nishan right now just moving slowly and steadily. I would love to see what these lads, the lads that are single in the lobby, solo survivors, what they do, what sort of chaos they do.
He can spot someone. Another. Oh, was very close to knockout at one particular player. On next one. Oh no! This is going to be incredible. He hasn't fought another. No, I knew it. With that instant recovery, or with that instant reaction, finish him off. Now, Season and Ayush are the two final players. Both the HP are quite low. It's 1v2 situation because two players from Trikru already got knocked out. I think Ayush just will revive his team, then they'll fight back.
Probably they should fight back on for themselves if we just talk about it. But right now, Season is trying to move forward. Muffin as well. Oh, pretty close, pretty close.
Oh
Season
no!
gets taken up. Legend might as well just be the next one to fall apart. But Muffin, because he's the last one surviving, he will have to just look forward to everything. Sandesh does not have anything. He's trying to go for the Car 98. But no! Legend with that AKM does take him down. I thought that Car 98 had it.
Oh yeah, I thought the same thing, but RG engaged is there to finish things off. PNC got
17.
second in the sports match with Sanhok and Alpha Social 17 kills, 32 total points, 2941 basic damage. Overall ranking is 6th out of 24.
Wow, 17 points coming up for these lads. Amazing 2941 damage, 5th position for themselves. But I'm proud of the way this team has played, right? Today,
Yeah.
talk about obviously, let's just go from Miramar to the Erangel to obviously this game. They have been playing amazing. They were at second. Now they are coming up down to first position, and that season Sandesh, like amazing performances from these lads. To be honest, appreciable.
Yeah, you have to appreciate this thing because he was stepping up by every single time and showcasing that how you can address and how you can hold those crucial angles despite of the
Yeah.
fact they were in the circle, pinching down every single team which is going to come inside the circle. I'm talking about that one opportunity in the favor of the King. They had that one player who was just behind Ayush, could have been taken down two players, but that was not the case. And they again getting that MVP title.
Yeah, wow. Sandesh, this is like a hat trick of the MVP from this lad coming up here. 6 kills, 2 assists, 195 healing done. This lad is at another level right now. This lad is unstoppable. And he definitely is unstoppable.
And you know what? He was the only person who was using that gold axe in the final circle. He has so much confidence and faith on it. But then now the important part is PN crew. They are just dominating every single team in the lobby. Will they be able to continue that type of aggression or that type of play in the final match? What do you think about that?
Probably they can. Probably, it might as well just be a thing to just understand as for what happens. Well, top four players, Legend, Malik, and Season. These lads are here as well. Sandesh as is there as well. 6 kills, 5 kills for Legend, 4 for Malik, and obviously 4 for Season coming up with a decent amount of damage. Obviously, Sandesh, he's always going for like amazing damage numbers.
Yeah, Malik also caught that position as a top 4 kills, but look at the damage season with 534 damage. But let's talk about the match. Somebody T2K Dane has the longest spell with 244. Peter Sunday is the highest spell and he has the highest amount of damage. 1212 damage. Miracle means highest amount of utility with Sunday. Also gave the maximum assist. The number is
Yeah, I mean, coming down to 2 assists from Sandesh. It's like Sandesh after every odd number. The first thing is with Sandesh, third is with Sandesh, fifth is with Sandesh. We talk about these things, and then match rankings. This is where PNQ finally just getting up a hold of that second enough for themselves. 17 kills, 32 points, and then EKTA coming up with half of the total point, 16.
16 points in the favor of Ekta. But I would love to talk about the play from the side of Cinema Art and VibesEsports. They were focusing on those skill points and that really paid off. CampToWin finally secured those 2 crucial points, but PWP Esports with 0 onto their name.
Yeah, that's just how it has been. CampToWin, PWP, well, both teams getting 0 kills done for themselves. TRS, Aayo Team Ts, JyanMaara coming down with 0 placement points for themselves. Raw official Trikru Destiny, I mean, they did try to have decent amount for themselves, but that did not happen, and that is the reason. When we look at the fights that were happening, we'll be looking at these in the Oppo F19 Pro moments, as you just see, it all started, PWP, they were taken down, and then the players they did try to just swim around the areas, but that did not work in the favor.
Yeah. But the important part is in Peru we talk about their team play style, and their team style is always on or top notch basically. Because Sandesh and Season, whenever they just look out for a particular angle, and the other two teammates always provide the cover, always just focus on the different angles. So they have every single time they have a lot of information, lot of intel. But I was talking about this, like Nixon, had he had just fired some bullets on top of Ayush, he must have taken at least it's not that one particular kill, but that was not the case. That would have been the best scenario in that particular area. But again, finally, JyanMaara completed that 200 visit mark on the first position with 201 points.
Yeah, that's just how it is. If we just talk about it, and if we just look forward to the fights as for what they were, how they were happening. But right now, when we talk about these fights and these situations, you see the overall rankings. One game, she wants one final game, and for some teams it might just be one for the lifetime. They'll have to, they'll have to just get down best of the best on their game level right now.
Yeah, but the good thing is for Elementrix, finally I can see them in the second place of the overall ranking. They were at the semi-final. Now they are at the 16th position. They played 8 matches and one match left for the team. But Team T2K and KINGsNepal again at the same position, 9th and 10th respectively, with 148 and 146 points.
Yeah, that's just the way it has been for the lads. But right now, the most important thing is how are they going to be just going forward to their good games for themselves, as this is where Aayo Team Ts and CampToWin are. It's important for these teams in order to just go for it. If they cannot, it's going to be really tough.
But it's going to be really tricky as well as tough. But they have only one game left for the semi-finals, and it is going to be the final match, and that is going to be in Erangel. So we all know teams like Vibe, Crew, they have a good hold on the Erangel match. It comes down to teams like we saw EKTA. They are also playing good, but I would love to see teams CampToWin. They
Mm.
somehow have to secure only 2 points, but only option left is at least get the chicken dinner in the final match.
That's important, right? For both the teams, that kind of is really important. CampToWin, Aayo Team Ts, 79 and 78 points. And obviously, it's not just for today. They have to be in top
Yeah.
16 and they have to sustain there for tomorrow as well. So
Yep.
somehow it's like, really high kill fragging game for today if they would want to. Otherwise, things might as well just, be in its own ups and downs. We'll have to see what happens. Obviously, we'll have to see. Obviously, one final game of Erangel. It's just going to be right in front of us in a while. And with that one final game of Erangel in the conversation, I don't know how and what the fights actually bring us. But for that, before that, we actually just go there. We're gonna head on to a really short break. You guys will be seeing you after this.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, if you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Pubg National Championship Nepal 2021, powered by Oppo F19 Pro. Hashtag Wook Up Your Fun. My name is Ocean. Alongside me is Shivansh, and this is gonna be the final match of the day in the semi-finals, day 5. For a few teams, it might just be the final match of the road. We'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see, because tomorrow, obviously, is going to be tomorrow is going to be the final day of the semi-finals. But right now, for today, it is what it is.
It is going to be a roller coaster ride for those teams who are the third page of the leaderboard. They still have one team left. The teams who just completed their 19 matches, and they just have to maintain a good cushion, a good points lead, so that they'll
Yeah.
sustain the same position as I just mentioned earlier. But the important point is, Ocean, you have to stop those teams who were like over aggressive and literally punishing you every single time while you are just engaging in a fight.
Definitely, that's just the way how it is. But right now, look at this from the sidelines of Primoz to Severny. We can see the flight path. This is the final game, ladies and boys, girls. Gatka, Query, Poaching, School, Rosok, Shooting Range, Severny, Judgeable, Dark here could be good areas. Yasnaya, I don't think so. It might just be a bit tricky, but yeah, if the teams want to glide, they can might as well take up a vehicle and go to Yasnaya. We'll see. We'll see where the teams actually go, because this is a really, really important game.
This is a really, really important game, and this is the prediction time. Okay, I'm going to predict the zone. Okay, so I'm sure, like, I'll predict the zone is going to move towards the southern western side of the map, and it will cover Katka, Hospital, Pochinki, and the Kori and Peri Peri game. Let's see if it's going to happen or not. But if this is going to happen, then Team Elementrix and TS should be quite happy.
I don't know what to say right now. I just,
Just lost hope. They
uh,
always
pretty,
predict the worst zone.
pretty much. But yeah, well, now moving forward, let's just talk about what's at hand right now, because the teams, look at this. Every team is just trying to drop down onto that area, onto their area. This time, obviously, Kings Nepal, they could not go to Novo Repnoi because the flight path was not pertaining to that area. And this time, this is why I was saying, I don't know what to say, because for the first time, we kind of are getting the decent zone.
And I am quite happy with this too. But now the stakes are really high. If you would just finish at the top 16 and qualify for the finals, then you'll get a good chunk of money from the prize pool. And if you're gonna finish at the first position, you'll get 10,000. But look at that! So both teams are pretty close to each other. JyanMaara and PWP. And I saw the Delta Axe, the X has that shotgun in his hand, but he's able to connect a single shot. So both the teams they just moving away from each other, and that's the best option of this.
And definitely, it is kind of the best option out there if you just look at it and talk about it right now. PNLS and CAM to win. Both the teams are just sorry, PNQ and CAM to win. Both the teams are trying to find up good areas, good openings if they can, and then move forward. But obviously, that's kind of a switch to happen if you just talk about it, because both the teams are just pretty close to each other. One wrong mistake and just end the other team. And for CampToWin, they have one mission: survive. They have to survive.
Survival is more important. Well, as you have to take down that team. So, Cam to win, this is their perfect opportunity to shut down PMNC in a very, very, very early stage. And if they somehow manage to do that, it might possible they will secure good points and hit that double digits and will increase the chances of survival to stay in the stay in the finals. But being crew Ayush, look at that. The movement and the amount of information he gathered, it was amazing because he spots out one player and he always used that into their favor. Now something just moves towards that one player of camp.
Oh, they are spotting down their opponents. They know where they are. They know how to make up a good fight for themselves. Hazard riding onto the back lines. Minash as well. I mean, Hazard is kind of away from the team that there is. PNQ right now. Ayush, look at him. Ayush is on low HP. He needs to heal. He needs to heal. I don't know. All right, he does go for the heal. Now moving forward, they have to put it down to Jen, so it's really tricky for this lad. But looks like he will find himself into a good area. So let's see what happens.
But the bad thing is that Jin has no helmet and vest. He has that one shot in with an M416. So yeah, this their pick. In some of us one player, but the reaction from
Oh,
impressive. But then spray was also impressive. On the other side, season reply perfectly within lock in. Now it's coming down to Horus. And he is just gonna keep it from the same position, then he might get one.
season onto the back lines right now. Just trying to stay, onto this area. And Sandesh was put down earlier, but obviously he's gonna go for the heals and is gonna be just looking really good. But CampToWin, I mean, what are the chances that you feel CampToWin can actually take up a really good fight right now?
I think so. The chances are quite low because quite low because we saw that players don't have enough utilities as well as they don't have the helmet and West in their position already being compromised. The position season is holding is way more better than players can have.
Yeah, that's true. But Sachin right now at this area spots on one. Sandesh is gonna take him down. Oh, the damage was done, but still no confirmation. He should focus on season actually. But because season is pretty close to him. I wish Harry had one throwable or something. Could have easily taken down season.
He can certainly change the momentum of the game if he can take down season. But right now, look at that. P and crew already changed their position and they are just rushing towards season. So he has that UMC and he is in 1v3 situation. I use from the back lines, knock out one. This is the time season can rush and at least take down one, and then in the retaliation fire, his team to take down the whole team. And yup, he's just doing the same thing.
Takes another one. Takes another one.
Oh,
to win. They mark up their exit. There was a gas can out there. Had he just blown that gas can, he could have taken down the entire team. But okay.
But he's still like he knows that he's gonna win that 1v1 duel. But for those two backup, right? He literally did a lot of job. He's just shuts down the main player who has that big advantage. Right now, another fight is taking out in the pushing the high ground and the mountain. Shepard, he has that mini 14. This does a lot of damage, and that is impressive. And he has that 8 times, so he can literally rule the long range fight, but he has to be careful because he's out in an open area.
Muffin right now just moving forward. The pace pretty close to him, and Destiny pretty close to these lads. Look at them just dropping out in this area. They are pretty close as they are just trying to find up a good fight. Muffin, look at him. He's trying. He knows that there's gonna be someone. He drops down. He drops out. Look at that! Onto the
What
back
was
line.
that?
That's scary. That's scary. But Muffin survives.
It certainly was a jump scare, but no. We saw that Muffin able to survive. Wrong on the other side. The backup was not them. Cover fire. We was cover fire. Team just backing off. Only 2 players surviving. This thing, someone managed to secure another kill. So this is kind of start they want.
Definitely, this is kind of the start that they want. But look at this, Team Destiny. They are looking good right now because of the start that they have had for themselves. Meanwhile, Cinema Art is looking good, but Raw looks like they have some other plans as well as the trades are being taken down. 57 players alive, 15 teams surviving. Onto the Pochinki Hill, onto the backsides of the Pochinki Hill, the players are moving forward. Kira as well. Roos takes down Muffin the finish. We see it on the feed right now. This is going to be the second one for Team Destiny as everyone is trying to move forward. Let's see what happens when they're going to be, focusing on pretty good fights.
Right now, we can see that Pratik doing a lot of job securing that one crucial kill again and again, despite the fact they lost one player, but still they're stepping up, keeping things down. And right now, the position they're holding and the compound they're holding is still inside the circle. I mean, this is the best part they can get.
Looks like they're again trying to spot someone, and they have spotted down the players though. Too high, just out there. Right, left, right, left. Oh, he did spot down. Now might just be a good time to spray. No, as the players are just are gonna move up forward. Cinemart, they have a good area, but the thing is, they dropped down 3-man roster. Now they're just a two-man duo.
It's a two-man duo. Team Extreme face execution at 15 position. The circle is spots closing in and just shifts towards the southern side. And the military bridge is still inside the circle. So JyanMaara can really capitalize on this situation perfectly if they want to secure a second win.
Look at them, just trying to look forward to the competition. Look at the circle as well. As for what the circle is, Elementrix, they're kind of at the center of the zone right now, but they have JyanMaara onto the back lines and they have Destiny onto the front lines for themselves. T2K, they have a good area for themselves. TS moving up. I mean, TS, we talked about it, right? They have this is an important game for themselves. 79, 78 points for these lads. They have to acquire those points. If they can do it correctly, it's going to be a really good.
It is surely going to be a really good thing with Elementrix that is progressing the focus on those rotations are really important. But look at the position of one team into another team. They really what's the choice of taking faster. Liquid tried his level best to shut down one player, but no, unable to connect decent amount of shot, but no at the end passing perfect. So answer to shut down run and he's going to secure that kill.
They definitely are gonna just secure that kill for themselves. As we just see how it is. Somehow, if we just look forward to the fights and if we look forward to what is happening, you can just see through and you can just understand all the teams, all the players are just trying to get down to the best of their fights for themselves. This is gonna be really tricky for the players. Too high. Oh, one shot. Oh,
yeah.
It's shared by. Not from Element, but it's from Destiny.
Still, that was a close call, right? Again, they got got the knock, but Destiny with the half that PW pin able to see this time, but like a Mira, they just want to just want to convert that knock into a kill, switch to the 6 times, and he's just going for that single tap.
Going up for those single taps, just trying to find up a decent area for himself. Kira he is waiting right now. It's kind of a waiting game for this lad. Just trying to wait to see if someone just arrives there for the cover. Looks like Pratik is on his radar right now. Kira just checking out all the covers, but Pratik from the back lines. Oh, there it is. Cinema Art. They mark up an exit.
Just secured in one kill, but Elementrix, they have those 4 kills and they're gonna enjoy those 4 kills too. Now they're just busy looting, and you know what? The position they are holding, the 6 compounds, they have a good hold on these 6 compounds. But the important part is they are inside the circle, right? If the circle moves towards the northern side, then it might possible they'll face the front, but at the position they are pretty decent.
Definitely. They are pretty decent. Arsenic against, moving on to the back lines. And now he has a vehicle as well. His teammates and him can just, move on to this vehicle for himself. With that mini and 6 times. This is going to be a pretty deadly combination. Mini and 6 times. If you're good with your tap accuracy, you can take down players. But look at plays on taking down players. Okay.
That isn't that too early that we are just going down from the blue zone. But if we talk about the position of Team Elementrix, they have control of the southeastern side of the circle. They can literally take for the team T2K and TS. If they want to, they can literally secure a lot of kills. This is the position of raw officials. Now they have good hold of this mountain, right? But if you're staying on the military bridge mountain, you have to utilize those. You have to use those smoke grenades so that you can knock out the vision and make an extra cover from one particular angle. Why the team Vibes, they are just inside this particular compound. The team is surviving out of three. They lost one player and haven't secured a single kill yet.
That's just the way how it is. Right now, looking forward to the fights. Vibes, Praveen, Malik, these lads are just in the circle. It's moving up forward. Rules gets taken out. Orange gets takes down Mr. Boro though. Orange, all right. There it is. Confirmations are coming up. DRS this time. DRS is on fire as they're taking on players, but PWP Reaper he gets taken on from the other side of T2K. Looks like DRS is looking really deadly, but we gotta go for the revive. Otherwise, T2K is coming, and T2K they are deadly. They are deadly right now.
So we are deadly, but blah blah blah. Wants to knock out once again. Okay, the fight is pretty decent. Going for the single tap, connected one shot in the head, but couldn't even get to knock. But Saga, that grenade was close, but his grenade would work out in his favor. The answer is no, given is still surviving. And look at that. Look at the amount of smokes they are using. P2K, they just want to win this fight, and now
I'll tell you one thing. Look at blah blah blah. He's running. The mini Godzilla behind him is just running as well. It's like no. Look at blah blah blah's Godzilla just running right by.
it's cute, right? The Scotland in the movies is so scary, but right now it's cute. Okay.
Now, T2K is just out there, and DRS as well. Just Mr. Boro, he is on critically low HP, will be finished down by blah blah blah. And this kind of just this kind of getting tricky. TRS Girls and Mafia Ninja just saw the Girls on low HP as well. Will be healing up with the bandits. Is a pretty good decision. Now needs to heal up with boosters.
TRS lost two players near to the position area T2K with that aggression and basically with that controlled aggression. They have good compound, they have good hold of this simple fight. But Jane knocks out one player, compromise this position. PWP Esports plays a front with 0 points. They were playing on the other side. We can see that Sanhok putting one grenade, but I don't think that it's going to connect to Saga. He's way too far away from the impact, and he's still there. Touchdown one, he's going to knock out 1-2, and yep, he has to cover off that rock.
They definitely have the cover of that rock. But look at that! Look at that spot zone. Takes on one, a pretty good one. But Utsarga, the damage has been done on this lad as well.
Now, you can see that even Whitey is eating himself up, but Saga slowly and steadily just converting those knock into kills. This team is looking unstoppable. 4 kills onto the name. The 5th is incoming, but Demon hasn't compromised yet. So, 20 seconds left on the clock. Then he has to rotate inside the circle.
Definitely have to just rotate onto that area for themselves. We'll have to see what happens if we talk about it right now. Just like you said, now it's just 8 seconds, 6 seconds just going down. AWM shots coming up by Shirpa. That's a pretty good one. Obviously, a headshot just connecting down onto his opponent. Jane trying to go with a nade. Demon Whitey. He's moving. He cannot. He was moving in the buggy, but the buggy was taken down. A brilliant nade. Brilliant nade by the lad.
That was impressive, to be honest. But on the other side, we saw that the players are using that green cannon to do imperfectly, but still confirmation is not yet here. Now, knock was there, but long range fights, the gamble is if you can knock out one player, still confirmation is going to be a little bit difficult because it's quite possible they are going to be in a cover and they'll be in a pretty decent spot. But the circle is playing with the players who were holding that certain side of the military. They towards the northern side of the military bridge. T2K, they have position of the eastern side of the circle, and DRS also holding those crucial side compartments of the position.
Yeah, that's just how it is. Praveen right now has spotted down the players. He can take one down. At least the damage was done, but still nothing into the execution. Another one. Oh, the damage was done as well, but still they are still surviving. One shot can take down the player. He's trying. He's trying. The damage has been done on almost all of them, but still they are surviving at this moment. And now it's time for White to just move forward and to secure a pretty good area for themselves in the circle. Well, Aruz, he is looking decent, but PN Crew is onto the other side. Let's see what happens.
What happens? JyanMaara stepping up. Gunner knocks out one player. Destiny secure 3 kills, but Spiky knocks out Drag Boy. Then to run over off this vehicle, and the kill confirmation is instantly there. On the other side, we can see that PNQ. They are just also want to engage to fight against the players of Destiny. These are the only two teams who are pretty close to each other. On the other side, we can see the shot just burned out that one vehicle, but a ruse with that incredible grenade knocked out too.
Well, they do. But Sus's nade as well just takes down one. That just happened at this moment. PN Crew Sandesh is surviving. He's looking at a good area. He can take down one. Aruz low HP. No! Aruz! Brilliancy at its peak as he takes down Sandesh, the lad who was really amazing. But look at that spit on the front lines. Season's location is compromised. Is the last one surviving? He can take maybe one down, but from backlines, let's see what happens as Season takes on one. Goes for the first aid. Shade pass on to the backside. This is gonna be really tricky.
It's going to be really tricky for their first season. Hiding behind the tree, receiving a lot of damage inside of Kira, so still spraying down onto him. But now, the important part is we already lost that one player. Sandesh, before going down, he confirmed the kill of Split. Now, this is looking very important for Destiny, and they are looking pretty strong because they already have 7 kills, 3 men alive, and they also want to move inside the circle. On this side, White already left her 40 jumps out. Spot now, Kira going to knock him down, and confirm that kill too.
Confirmation straight up coming up for the lad just out here. And now Praveen, I don't know what they are just trying to look forward to, as they know that there are lads on the backside, but they should focus on moving in the circle because the fifth zone has started. They have to move inside the circle 75 meters. There's a dip for when they move inside the circle. It's gonna be really important for the lads.
It's going to be very important. We still have 9 left. White secure 1 kill. One important thing, and that is Elementrix still there, and actually knocks out one player. Raw official taken exit at the 9th position. Now Destiny, they were looking pretty good with the team and line now. Just only 2 players, but Aruz, this man is again so strong. Throwing down shots with amazing finish. Perfectly, Aruz is not stopping. Takes down another Jane on top of the Jane. Aruz just wants to secure some more while moving inside the circle, but the blue zone is also coming in, and he's 100 meters far away from the
Sarga just moving out. Blah blah blah. He's getting close to blah 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 right now at this moment. We'll have to see, how the fights just keep on happening. Slipknot takes down Sherpa. I mean, the fights are still just moving up forward with its own pace, with the fifth circle just closing up, and the players are trying to just get the best out of everything. But look at this. This is where EKTA Minds has been in a lot of trouble as the players are being taken down. DRS, well, they mark an exit.
Certainly mark an exit, and they were expected this in these type of fights. But right now, Aruz is moving towards the players of the HR. On the other side, T2K Utsaga knocking down some players, but Jane, that grenade was so close. Probably just surviving on very low. It's really someone who was very low. It's been Jane moving towards him, and they knock him down. It was great, but he's going to confirm that kill. On the other side, we can see that Esports taken exit at the 7th position. Trikru at the 6th position. Only 5 teams separated the spot down, but now it's just switching to that one grenade, cooking it. Oh, but Malik, that was.
Yeah, that just happened. But Malik, he has to survive. He will have to survive. He wants to just, see his team just shining up again, as Erangels have been really good for Vibes, if we just talk about it. Blah, blah, blah. Onto the backlines again with T2K. T2K has all the players surviving. When T2K, they can just go for a brilliant fight. But Elementrix, it's like, they'll also have to go for the fights. But the first thing is, let's find up a pretty good area inside the circle.
Oh, yeah. That is the most important part, okay. But with Sarga, just want to spot some player, and one player from Elementrix goes down by each spot. With Sarga, I think so he could just kill that kill. going to tap shot with his M4 and the 3 times and the 6 times on it converted into a 3. Now, on the other side, we can see that Ozu, he has that AK fighting some random shots in those smoke clouds. They know that they have the advantage. They are inside the circle. They can instantly take down the players, but the man advantage is going to impact a lot. Going to put in a lot of impact on the play side.
Definitely, it is going to put in a lot of impact. If you talk about Mr. Hughes with 4 kills for themselves, and now they are just still trying to get down to more and more numbers. Us as well with 3 kills. The impact that these lads are creating on the lobby is pretty good. If we just talk about it, but right now look at this chain as well, just trying to get down onto the good fights. Mr. Hughes takes on one as he's moving up forward. And look at that, a good nade can actually just end it down the players. If we just talk about it, we'll have to see what happens, how does it happen, as the players are just there. A spot onto the backlines again. This is where Malik can just pull off a miracle. He's a solo survivor. He can maybe just trick down the opponents that is T2K right now, and then maybe just take those players down.
Also, just confirm the kill by the first with one vehicle and team Aayo Team Ts. They got eliminated as the fourth position. Blah blah blah. Got in the final kill and eliminated Vibes. Esports at the third position. Liquid on the other side. First round. Blah blah blah. Gonna finish him off with his TP28. It's a 4v3 situation between these two teams. Jane is the only person who is inside the circle. The other two members got so they have to move inside the circle. Oh, spot one down. Moving towards the height advantage. Use that height advantage. But Jane is gonna finish him down. This got a lot of damage. That's gonna knock him down too.
Yeah, at this moment, conceptually, that chain is just onto a pretty good area, but his location is spotted. His location is compromised. They know where he is. It might just be, really tricky for this lad to just, try and survive. Somehow rated. I mean, that rated can be a perfect player to give up a good cover five. We just talk about it, but still, if that happens, we'll have to see how that just, how that happens onto this moment right now. Rated just out here. This is going to be a tricky situation in the 4v2. Elementrix, they have a higher percentage, but T2K, the way they have been playing with those kill numbers for themselves, they can just go for a really good fight. We talk about Elementrix as well. They have 15 kills.
But for how long this smoke is going to prevent T2K? So for facing that elimination, and you have to answer this spot down one additional lot of damage. Both the players are on 50% HP. Both the teams, the players have to move inside the circle. Elementrix, two players, Plus and Ozu, they are already in the circle, and Plus making sure that he should take cover of that airdrop. James kill confirmation is already there over the situation. Plus is very close to the players of P2K, but Ravens goes down with the explosion of the weapon. Plus, despite me that end and that grenade. Oh no.
16 kills for this team. They are going for the 17. Sus can do it. Yes, he does. But Sarga gets taken out. Elementrix just going for a brilliant game for themselves. Winner chicken dinner coming down for this team, and that too with 17 kills. Oh my god.
Another 17 kills chicken dinner, but from a different team. Look at the damage, 2200 damage from the side of Elementrix. And overall ranking, we talked about their overall ranking. They just jumped onto the 13th position. Ocean, can you imagine? They were struggling from for the final, like the last two matches. We talked about the first and the second match that was not their game, but after the third match, they just stepped up. They were improving slowly and steadily. In the final match, they secured second dinner.
But is it enough? Is it enough?
Oh,
That's the question. They're at 13th right now. Tomorrow, there are going to be a lot of teams that are going to be playing. Obviously, Elementrix, they do have the matches left for themselves. That's going to be a good thing. But the way they have started, I would say watching this team in the finals, it's going to be a treat for sure. So we'll have to see, what happens with the team's composure and teams, the way they like to play the games. Obviously, that's going to be a different story. But right now, the way we saw this game happening, a brilliant game. It took its own sweet time to just, move forward. There were a few starting fights, but not a lot of starting fights. One team, obviously, around the areas of Severny, that was a fight that we can talk about that just happened. But after that, obviously, every team was just there, just trying to dish out good amount of damage and trying to put out good pressure.
Yeah, if you're talking about good pressure and you have to mention that one thing that Destiny. But if we talk about the most valuable player, it's Saga from the team PDK. Your 6 kills, 601 damage, one assist, and only 203 games done. So he was the MVP and he deserved that title. He was the man who was behind this. He dished out a lot of kills and securing a lot of kills. But Saga from the side of Elementrix, this man was great throughout the match.
Definitely, he was. The Sus was crazy out there. Roos coming down with 4 kills, Liquid with 4 kills as well. So yeah, every lad just tried to get down with good kills for themselves. Match summary, if we talk about it, Spiky coming down with 24. That's the most utilities used. But look at Sus, 8 assists. Eight is the
Ooh.
number of
What?
maximum assists.
This was very crazy, to be honest. That's a lot of job, and I would love to see how this team is going to perform in the finals. But before that, let's have a look at the match ranking of the final game of the 5. Team DPK at the second position with 25 points. Destiny at third position with 14 points. Esports within a kind of good outing on the fourth position with total points.
Well, TRS, Raw, Official Kings, Nepal, Cinema Art, all these teams were just out here. PWP, if you don't, talk about it, did not have a good game though. Team Extreme, CampToWin. CampToWin was the first one to be taken out onto the sidelines of Severny. We did see that happening. We just didn't talk about it. But apart from all these fights, all these situations that were there, I enjoyed the way the fights were happening. Look at this. If we just have a look at the open moments, so many fights did start with the initialization. We thought that this was the competition. Well, it was not the case though.
But
Blah blah blah. Godzilla moment.
yeah, the Godzilla movement finally is in OPM finally moving. That deserves, right? That deserves. But now, the way PMQ started, it was not that good. But Destiny, they were the one who had a good start, but at the end, unable to continue that good start till the end. But now the important part is teams like Elementrix, that 13 position as I mentioned earlier, still have a step. So teams who already completed their 20 matches, it is going to be very important so that they're just going to be at the top of the team.
Definitely, it's going to be really, really important. But look at JyanMaara, the team that was just dominating altogether at the top position. And that's where JyanMaara is Sniped Shah, Samir, Gunnar. 20 matches played, obviously, by these lads. Gunnar with 45 kills, Sniped with 29 coming up, Samir with 20, and Shah obviously with 12 kills. So, yeah, 202 points. They did not require a lot of points from this game. They just got 3 points. Previously, they were 199. Now they are at 202. Raw official coming up with 198. EKTA Esports, they still have chance to get to the top position tomorrow. Vibes, they'll be having a chance to get to top position tomorrow. T2K, they are done with all their games. Crew with 159. TRS, they are done with all their games. But this is where the major thing is. Wayout SATAN, they'll be playing tomorrow. High Voltage will be playing tomorrow. Elementrix, they are going to be playing tomorrow. All these teams have qualified for the finals. If we just talk about it, actually, all of these teams have qualified, but it's still
Yeah.
down to these teams. Destiny, can they make it? Harame, can they make it? Let's go, can they make it? It's tomorrow's day for them to decide.
But we know one thing for sure that the run is done for Aayo Team Ts and CampToWin. They already played their 20 matches and they are at the third position. But if we talk about the overall leaders, JyanMaara, Gunnar with 45 kills on the top, and look at that damage, it's 5,900.
Yeah, good damage coming out for the lad. .6900, and obviously these top players were pretty good. Talking about the daily report, this is where PNQ just outshined knockouts, damage received, damage given, kills. They coming up pretty good. Heals obviously just out there, but in this, I would say major contribution from PNQ was by Sunday.
Yeah, he was the man. He was the reason why this was outshining. The combination of Sandesh and Simpson, it was deadly throughout the matches because the way both the players play, the way the synergy is also amazing. And I just want to mention Ayush as well because he was on point every single time whenever he just created a fight.
Definitely, he was on point with every single fight that he was just giving out, and it was amazing,
Yeah,
altogether with every fight that there was. But obviously, we have one day remaining. That's gonna be tomorrow, and tomorrow's games. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be out of this world for sure because every team they're just gonna
yeah.
be putting out their best of the best gameplay if they can. So I would love to see, what happens tomorrow. But for today, obviously there have been a few teams. But with this one, ladies and boys and girls, we come to an end of this segment as well. Coming right up after are going to be the moments of the day, the Oppo F19 moments, obviously all together, just combined. And we'll be seeing you tomorrow. So take care, stay safe.